morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome to what is probably going to be another chaotic deadline because we are awaiting, hopefully, some early City team news. We're going to get into all of that. I may or may not have some information. I just don't know about... I can't verify that it's like a valid source, but I will still share the information that I've been given. And yeah, hopefully we get some good early team news from a source that we trust. But at the moment, I've been given something, and I will discuss that. We're also going to discuss things like Doherty and Perisic. I know there's a lot of questions around that, whether it's worth taking a hit, bench order, who should be our vice captain if we're still captaining Haaland. So yeah, tons of things to discuss, and we're going to jump into all that. But as I always say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what you're currently doing right now. And we've still got 2 hours left, so there's no need to panic yet. I have already made a transfer, by the way. So I've made 1 transfer. I'll probably decide about that second transfer on stream. Ross, have you got a cold? Yeah, I've been ill for like 3 weeks. Apologies if I sound even more nasally than usual. Yeah, I've been like blocked up for a while now. I think it's just that time of year, isn't it? I'll do my best not to sniffle on the stream, though. Got people from Pakistan, Serbia, big up. Ireland, South Africa, Malaysia, Denmark. Like I always say, it seems like there's never anyone from the UK, but I think it's just if you're from the UK, you don't say tuning in from the UK. Unless you're Marcus, who's just said, morning, Ross, tuning in from sunny Swindon. Is it sunny in Swindon? Because right now it is very soggy in Nottingham. Algeria, Ghana, Dubai. These are all countries I want to visit. Croatia is definitely like top of my list for places to visit. Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool's probably rainy as well than if Nottingham is. Right. So, what should we do first? Let me show you my team first, and then I will discuss Haaland. But again, like we've got 2 hours till the deadline. I have a feeling we might get something. But, yeah. Let's show you that. So, this is my team. The transfer that I have made is Bowen to Saka. I know people want me to hide my transfers, stuff like that. I feel like I've hidden like 3 or 4 transfers in a row. People probably won't have the same team as me anymore. Also on top of the fact that not many other content creators are hiding their team. And I just don't understand the value in me being the only one that hides my team. Do you think it's weird that your rank started to drop once you began to hide your moves? I mean, it's not a drop. I'm still 825th, right? If we... Like, no, it's not been going great recently, but equally, I think that's just the natural like cycle of FPL, and you can't get green arrows every week, and your team won't be perfect every week. But I mean, this is now my 5th, 6th consecutive week in the top 1K. I don't think it's got anything to do with me hiding my moves. I'm making exactly the same decisions. It just so happens that I've not had 3 perfect weeks in a row. But realistically, I'm still delighted. So, no, I don't think it's got anything to do with that personally. But there we go. So, yeah, the move I've done currently is Bowen to Saka. But remember, I do have a second free transfer. So, I've now got 0.3 in the bank, and I've still got a free transfer to use. So, I guess the question comes for me now, do I want to use that second free transfer this week, or do I think it will be valuable to have 2 free transfers next week? Good morning, all. Adam says, thank you for the super chat, Adam. And yeah, good morning to you as well, man. Good to see you. Ross, you are a beautiful bearded egg. You're the man. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. It dropped since you got Salah. Now, that is actually true. Since bringing in Salah, it's not gone well for me. Yeah, I can't deny that one. I can't deny that one. You went for Saka. I can't talk you into Rashford instead. I'll be honest, I was very close to going on Rashford. I just think that this week looks really good for Saka, and I want him in my team. Cameron, yelling the news. I'm not going to give you yelling the news. I'm not going to read out your name, Mike, because that full name would get me banned, but welcome to the stream. Trent to Cresswell and Solanke to DCL. That sounds nice. I mean, I still like Trent, but obviously Solanke looks like he won't play this week. DCL and Cresswell look like 2 good options, but I think I would still hold on to Trent. So the second transfer is up for debate, right? So I've got a couple of options. I can do Doherty to Shaw, which would probably be the transfer. If I make a second transfer, I'm probably leaning towards Doherty to Shaw. The next 3 fixtures for Manchester United are really good. We've got West Ham, Aston Villa, and Fulham. Yes, 2 of them are away, but these West Ham and Villa have been struggling. I know Villa scored 4 goals recently, but apart from that, they're not teams that are sort of free flowing and scoring lots of goals. And there's the opportunity for attacking returns here. And Shaw's actually started 4 games in a row in the Premier League. Manchester United's fixtures, we've got West Ham, Sociedad, Villa, Fulham. So we've got 2 cup games sort of wedged in between the 3 Premier League games. So there's a chance that Shaw plays all 3 in the Prem and Malacia plays the 2 sort of cup games. Also, on top of that, if Dalot does get suspended, because remember Dalot's on 4 yellow cards. I think if Dalot gets suspended, it would probably be Malacia filling in at right back. So I think there's a reasonable chance Shaw starts the next 3 games. So he would probably be the defender I go for. The other option I've got, as I discussed in my team selection video, is in fact taking out Firmino and bringing in Calvert-Lewin, because I really like the look of what's going on here, defenders. I really like the look of Calvert-Lewin. So that's another option as well to bring in Big Dom. But I've seen a lot of people predicting a Firmino start, so I guess I'm hesitant to take out Firmino at the moment. And then the final option is, of course, just rolling the transfer, starting Gahey and benching Doherty, because realistically, everyone that I would trust to predict the Spurs lineup, everyone's predicting Doherty benched. So I'm not very confident of a Doherty start, basically. So that's my team. That's my team. Basically, Bowen to Saka was my move. And then sorry, the chat's distracted me. Let's see what happens with that second free transfer. What do you guys think? If this was your team, would you roll a second free transfer so that I have, again, 2 free transfers? It feels like I have 2 free transfers every week, doesn't it? So that I have 2 free transfers next week. Or would you get aggressive, do Doherty to Shaw or potentially Firmino to Calvert-Lewin? The reason that I would maybe advise rolling a transfer at the moment is because when you go into next week, let's have a look at Fancy Football Hub quickly. When you go into next week, you've got... I've got Saka and Martinelli against Chelsea away, which isn't ideal. I'll have Salah and Firmino against Tottenham, right? So 4 of my attackers have arguably pretty rubbish fixtures. I'd have Doherty against Liverpool next week. And then I have Mitrovic and Andreas against Man City, followed by Manchester United. So realistically, if I get Mitrovic in for Doherty, next week, I think I would like to make 2 transfers to take out probably Firmino and Mitrovic. So, like, for example, let's say I do roll in game week 15. I'm thinking something along the lines, potentially, of Scamacca in for Mitrovic, and then in for Firmino, I could do then Calvert-Lewin. So like, I'm thinking about something potentially along the lines of that. And I just feel like 2 free transfers next week could be more valuable. Also, something we need to remember is a lot of players are on 4 yellow cards. So if I just switch to this, these are all of your players that are on 4 yellow cards at the moment. A lot of us will own sort of Gahey, Saliba, Dalot, Jesus, Tony. A lot of us will own maybe 3 or 4 of those players. I myself am lucky that I only own Gahey, but I think for a lot of people, maybe the slightly tricky fixtures in 15, along with the fact that we've got quite a few key players on 4 yellows, I just feel like maybe it makes sense to, if you can roll a transfer, do it. So basically all of that to say, I'm probably leaning towards rolling at the moment, the second transfer, and just doing the Bowen to Saka one that's already been done. Got a super chat from 419 Merchant. Says Solanke, Mitrovic to Darwin and Bowen to Andreas bench. I'm not sure about taking out Mitrovic this week. Oh, sorry, I've just seen it right. Solanke / Mitrovic to Darwin and Bowen to Andreas bench. I'm struggling to work out the grammatical structure of that sentence, but I don't mind Solanke to Darwin. I wouldn't sell Mitrovic. If you're selling Bowen for Andreas, that's fine. If you're saying you want to start Andreas, again, I would probably start Andreas ahead of Bowen. Yeah. How confident are you that Firmino starts? Good question. My honest gut instinct is that Firmino doesn't start. So if you ask me what I think, I would say Firmino benched. But having spoken to like literally every Liverpool fan seems to think Firmino starts. And if you follow Emma Jump the Wave, let's have a quick look at her over on Twitter. So Emma jumped the wave. Her hand was jumped the wave. She does really good aggregation of predictions for a lot of the top teams. So the Liverpool predicted lineup was... Where is it? Why can't I find it? There. You're probably not going to be able to see this. So she's got 39 predictors that predict on... And these are predictions, right? And people can't predict the future, I know. But she's got 39 people that predict the Liverpool lineups. 33 of the 39 are predicting Firmino to start, which is 85%. So only 6 are predicting a Firmino bench. I would feel fairly comfortable with everyone that I've spoken to, plus this, that maybe I'm wrong. So, again, my prediction would be Firmino doesn't start, but a lot of people seem to. And this is another predicted lineup, again, with Firmino starting. I think it will be... I think they'll play the formation they played in the Champions League. So I think we'll have Darwin and Salah up top, and I think we'll have Firmino in that number 10 role. So I think it could happen, right? It could happen, but I'm still not convinced. But Firmino, 20, 30 minutes off the bench against the tired Leeds could go well. Could go well. So, yeah, that's how I feel about Firmino at the moment. I'm not sure, basically. Right, so Haaland. I'm really hesitant to share this because I don't know about the validity of it. I need to be careful here because the guy said he doesn't want me to get his friend in trouble. So let me be careful here. So I got a DM yesterday with a couple of pieces of Man City news at about 9 p.m. last night. And I can't share all of it. And I can't share who apparently the source is. But this guy has told me that Haaland hasn't travelled with the City squad. Now, I get maybe like 2 or 3 DMs per game week with people leaking me team news. A lot of it's usually nonsense. A lot of it is people asking for shout-outs, and a lot of it is directly before the deadline, probably to try and throw me off. The only times when I've been DM'd early sort of news, the day before a deadline, by someone really nonchalant just tells me, by the way, Haaland hasn't travelled, that suggests to me that it might be something to believe. Now, what I would say is if Haaland truly hasn't travelled and this guy that sent me this information is correct, I think we would find out anyway, right? I think if Haaland hasn't travelled, there's no way that a journalist doesn't catch on to that before the deadline. So basically, I think if this guy's correct and Haaland hasn't travelled, we'll find out. Now, the other thing to know is if Haaland hasn't travelled, and again, this guy is correct, then captain Haaland. You have no issue captain Haaland, right? All I would say is that makes your vice captain and your first bench so much more important. So whilst I always think it's absolutely critical to sort out your bench order, and whilst I always think it's absolutely critical to make sure that you've got a good vice captain, this week in particular, I would make sure that you give your first sub and your vice captain as much thought process as your captaincy decision or your transfers on a normal sort of decision. Like, I think really sit down and have a think about who you want your vice captain to be, because if Haaland hasn't travelled, obviously we're all going to need our vice captain. And the same thing goes for your first sub as well. So again, I'm hesitant to share this news because he could just be lying. He could be guessing. He could have absolutely no contact. He could be, like I said, completely making it up. But I'm inclined to think that I think there's a good chance he does miss out. And I don't know, he gave me 2 or 3 pieces of information. I can't share all of it. It wasn't to do with who's starting. But if it's all correct, I'll maybe listen to him in the future. But yeah, I thought it'd be worth sharing with you guys. But I can't tell you who it is. And I can't tell you how correct it is, which probably means it's useless and that's not going to help you much. But take it with a pinch of salt. For what it's worth, I'm not going to be taking Haaland out. And unless we get 100% confirmation that Haaland is out, or if he's benched, for example, I'm probably still going to captain him. So as you can see my team, I'm going to have Haaland captain, Salah vice captain, and I'm probably going to have Andreas first sub. So what happens basically if Haaland misses out, I'm going to get Andreas coming into the starting 11. It will switch to a 3-5-2 and Salah will become my captain. So there we go. And if this guy's wrong, then I'll just block him for the future. Ash Ketchup says, who would you transfer in to start over the next 3 game weeks out of these 4? Rashford or Almiron or Zaha or Trossard? I would go Rashford or Zaha. I'd probably lean Rashy just for a bit of fun, but Zaha's obviously on pens, so that's a big advantage in his favour. I do really like the look of Rashford, though. Joe has said, Salah is vice over Arsenal. I set against Forest. Yeah, for me, I'm going Salah. I just think his data's better, and yeah, I tend to favour Salah. I do think the Arsenal assets are fine, though. Zaha to Saka this week or hold with the view to get Darwin in 16. Saka massive ceiling this week, but as an Arsenal fan, I don't love us in away games at the moment. Zaha to Saka this week or hold with the view to get Darwin in 16. I personally wouldn't do Zaha to Saka this week. I wouldn't do Zaha to Saka at all. I think that it's very close between Zaha and Saka, and I think over the next three, Zaha's arguably got the better fixtures. So I would tend to keep Zaha personally. But I do obviously like Saka for this week, hence the fact that I've brought him in. So I understand wanting to get Saka. Your league has got players with such insane scores. How do you collect such teams? Word on the street is that I give such fantastic advice in my videos that naturally every team in my league is doing really well. Now, that's just word on the street. Now, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I've been lucky. We've got like 30,000 or something ridiculous teams in the league this year. So I just think the league's grown quite well. So that's why we've got quite a lot of like good teams in the league, I think. Good day, Ross. Good to see you, Will. Missed one. Would you consider Nunez game week 16 punt in your team? Yes, I probably will. Yeah, I probably will. Ian coming in with a £5 super chat, but no message. Let me know if you meant to attach a message. If not, just thank you very much for the donation. But yeah, I'll look out for your name, Ian. Let me know. What do we think about... Is anyone... Let me run a poll, actually. Let me run a poll. Start a poll. Actually, I think I'm going to do who is your vice captain this week. Who is your vice captain this week? We're going to go Salah. We're going to go... Feel free to just say in the chat as well. I've just slapped a poll in the chat, by the way. I know a lot of you might be vice captain like Foden or De Bruyne as well. Unfortunately, YouTube still only have it where you can only have 4 options in a poll. It's a bit annoying, but there we are. There we are. Is there any update on Haaland? Scroll back 5 minutes. I can't be bothered to re-explain it. No, we haven't got any... We haven't got any official news. I have been DM'd by someone that I cannot verify the validity of who they are and if they've got any good information yet that has said that Haaland hasn't travelled. So, yes, we have news, but I don't feel comfortable. And this isn't hating on the guy. Like, he's been nice enough to share it. Of course, if it's the first time he's messaged me, I'm not going to say that he's a great source. So, no, there's no official Haaland news at the moment, I'm afraid. Super chats aren't working on mobile. They should be. They should be, mate. I don't know why. You just click on the little button and then it should take you through. I don't know why if they're not working. There's nothing I can do. It's probably on YouTube's end. Got a big super chat from Alex. Thank you very much. Not FPL related. Odds on Leeds getting relegated. I'm a Leeds fan here. Great content this week, Ross. Right. I mean, I'm a Manchester United fan, so I have no issue with Leeds getting relegated. But what I would say is that the data suggests you've been actually really unlucky. So your XG and your XG conceded, I'm not saying it's great, but I think you should probably be sort of like 13th, 14th in the league as opposed to sort of battling relegation, maybe even creeping towards the top half. So I think assuming you don't make any drastic decisions, assuming you don't sack Jesse Marsch, because I think that would be a mistake, I think that you'll be fine this year, to be honest. You've had quite a few injuries to key players once again as well. So I don't think Leeds will get relegated this year. I think you'll be fine. Thoughts on Bobby to DCL? I don't mind it, but again, so many people are predicting a Bobby start. I just think that if Bobby does start, He's as good an option as Calvert-Lewin. Has Calvert-Lewin? Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Listen, I love DCL as an option. Like, I can't. There's 2 players this week that I would love to have, but I don't really. I feel like they're a better. So basically, I want Rashford and I want Calvert-Lewin, but I think Saka's a better pick than Rashford, and I think keeping Firmino makes sense. So whilst I would love Rashi and Calvert-Lewin, I just can't get them this week. Would you consider shaving your head for charity? Yeah, sure, why not? Yes, let's say yes. Love your content, Ross. Any news on Solanke? I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't think so. I wasn't really looking out for it, though, I'll be honest. Scout. Let me have a look at the press conference updates from yesterday. Let us know in the chat if you've seen anything on Solanke. I don't think we got an official sort of update, did we? Was his press conference on Thursday? I can't remember. What are we saying in the chat? Have we got an update? Steven says, hi Ross, would you do Solanke to Wilson? I'm also thinking of Gomez to VVD. I know it's sideways, but I have a feeling a thunder bastard is coming. I prefer Solanke to Wilson, to be honest, mate. But yeah, I don't mind Gomez to... If you've got a feeling on Van Dijk, go for it. These are the sort of calls that you have to make in FPL. But yeah, it does feel a little bit sideways. I would favour Wilson a little bit more, I think. 2 free transfers. Pope and Firmino out for Ramsdale and Darwin. I don't really like a goalkeeper transfer, especially before Villa at home. And I think Firmino's... I don't mind it, David, but I think Firmino and Pope are really good this week if Firmino starts. So I would lean no, but I do like Ramsdale. Ramsdale and Darwin is probably an upgrade. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Trossard and Pope to Saka and Kepa, or is Raya better? Trossard and Pope to Saka and Kepa, or is Raya better? It doesn't really matter. You've only got 3 weeks left. I'd go for whichever keeper you want. Like, you're probably going to call that wrong. Like, it's very tricky over a short period of time to get the right keeper. I think Kepa's fine. Raya's obviously got a great fixture in 15. It's up to you. I don't think there's value in using goalkeeper transfers at the moment, especially for Nick Pope. Aston Villa and Southampton in the next 2. I'm not a massive fan of that. Best £4.7 million defender to get for 3 weeks. Yeah, I would say Luke Shaw or Ben White, but probably Luke Shaw if you're looking at fixtures for the next 3. Mate, is Cresswell 4.8 or 4.7? If Cresswell's 4. I think it's 4.8, isn't he? Yeah, I'd probably go Luke Shaw. I've missed 2, okay. Bro, I have Maddison. Keep him or sell to Saka? I'd sell for Saka. Lost that one. Everyone's scrambling for Arsenal assets with 2 tricky away fixtures this weekend. Logical or strange? I think it's logical because I think this is a really good fixture to target, especially when there's only 3 weeks left of the World Cup. But I do wonder whether a triple Arsenal up is a little bit short-sighted. The thing is, Wolves away isn't a bad fixture, but two away fixtures after this. Arsenal are traditionally a lot better at home. I don't think you need to be scrambling for Arsenal assets. Like, if I only had 1 free transfer and a couple of other issues, I might not have made the Saka move. But when I'm in a position where I've got a strong team, 2 free transfers, and an easy switch to Saka, that's what I did. But I agree, I don't think you need to be scrambling for Arsenal assets. Mr. Seb on golf in the chat. Good to see you, my man. It says, thoughts for Perisic owners with only 1 free transfer. Depends who your other, like, for example, so I've got Doherty. Yes, I think Doherty and Perisic are issues, but I can also play Cancelo, Trippier, and Gahey this week relatively comfortably. And I've got Castagna on the bench if I really do need it. So it really depends on who your other defenders are and if you can get away with benching. I think, as I said before in the chat, I think that 2 free transfers next week is going to be incredibly valuable. So I would lean towards trying to roll the transfer and dealing with it next week. Whether you start him or not is up to you. Most people seem to be predicting a Sessegnon or Gil start. So I would probably bench but keep Perisic and deal with him next week, basically. Best of luck for the game week. Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate it. Good luck with your stream, mate. Salah to Anthony and Mitrovic to Wilson in 15, Kane in 16. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'm not sure about selling Salah. I know Tottenham's not a great fixture, but then Southampton at home. So let's see what he does this week. If Salah has another really poor-looking week, yeah, I might even sell Salah next week. Like Salah and Firmino out could be something that I do. So yeah, that sounds like a decent plan. Why not bring in Bowen for 15 to 16? I mean, I've only just sold Bowen, but I just don't think he just doesn't quite look at it. And he's not on penalties anymore, is he? He's sharing set pieces with Cresswell. I just don't think he's a fantastic option, Bowen. I'm glad I got the points that I got from him. I'm still not convinced. Bench versus sell. Yeah, I just play Gahey then, Seb. I just play Gahey. But that's what I'm doing anyway. Also, I do think that the Crystal Palace defense is relatively highly owned. Like, I don't think it will like butcher your rank, but I think if you've got a Palace defender on the bench, it's an okay chance for a clean sheet, and also you're covering that clean sheet. Like, if that clean sheet comes in, it's not a huge issue for you. My mum's just messaged me. She's out for the day with Nana Raptor, and apparently Nana Raptor is supposed to just be enjoying her day out, and apparently she's just sat there watching my live stream. So if you're still watching this, Nana Raptor, I love you very much, and thank you for watching the stream. Where were we? If Salah blanks, are you shipping him out pre-World Cup? Yeah, I guess we just discussed that. There's a chance, right? There's a chance. Let's switch to the old hub to look ahead. Not that hub, by the way. Don't be cheeky. Fantasy Football Hub for next week. So let's say that in 14, I just do the Saka move. I said that I maybe would want to bring in Skamaka for Firmino and Calvert-Lewin for Mitrovic. But I also do have the option of switching out Salah. The issue, I suppose, with selling Salah is who do I want to sell him for? Yes, you've got the likes of Antony and Rashford. I still don't know if I back those kind of players above Salah. I know Salah's not been great. The players that I would want to own, the only one that I would back above Salah is probably Foden and De Bruyne at the moment. But I've got Triple City and I already own Foden. I guess maybe you could go for Sterling if you think he'll start both for Arsenal and Newcastle. Maddison's not got terrible fixtures. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to Bowen. I'm just not convinced. Zaha's okay as well. I do like Anthony's fixtures, Villa and Fulham, but both away. I don't know. I feel like I will probably end up just keeping Salah. I know it's very frustrating for those of you that don't like him, and when content creators just continue to keep Salah. I think we've just seen what you can do. And I know this is a different season and you have to react to FPL and you can't just be stuck in your ways. But at the same time, I do question whether it makes sense to sell him when the options aren't massively there. I think if you don't own Foden or De Bruyne, or you've got a third City spot open to like triple up on the City attack or something, then maybe that's the way. Hype for you to hit 50k, Ross, my guy. That's this weekend for sure. I appreciate that. What are we on now? Let me refresh. We're on 14. We just hit 49,000 subscribers. We're not going to do it, but there are 4,200 people watching. I reckon 1,000 of you might not be subscribed. So I reckon we could hit 50,000 in this stream. It's extremely unlikely. So all I'm going to say is if you haven't yet subscribed, we are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We've just hit 49,000, which is absolutely amazing. If you would love to help a man achieve his dream of 50,000 subscribers, I would massively appreciate it. It's completely free. And if later on you change your mind and you think this is terrible content, well, then you can just unsubscribe, can't you? Should I start Thiago Silva or Ben White? I'd lean Ben White. It's such a good fixture, isn't it? Start Saliba or Gahey. I would start Saliba. Gahey to Gabriel or roll the transfer, or I would just roll the transfer. Well, that's what I'm leaning towards doing anyway. Like I've got the option to bring in a slightly better defender. I just don't think Gahey's terrible. Any non-Man City players for 7 mil that you would recommend? I assume you mean in midfield, so I'd go like Rashi or Almiron. Still looks like a decent shout. I mean, I'm not fully convinced, but he still looks decent. I'll probably go Rashford. Bowen and Mitrovic for Rashford and Darwin. Captain Darwin and mirror the tough fixtures 15-16. Or just Mitrovic to Darwin and start Trossard. So basically Rashford over Trossard for a -4. I don't hate it. I would probably just do that. I'm very hit averse. Unless it's a double game week, I tend to favour not taking a hit. So I would probably favour just Mitro to Darwin and starting Trossard. Trossard's still been good this year as well. No, we haven't had any official. We haven't had any official news on Haaland, but I did get a random DM which suggested that Haaland hasn't travelled with the squad, but I don't know what to make of it. Just subscribed, first FPL season, and I've loved the content. Have a good weekend. Thank you very much, Cal. I appreciate you subscribing, and I hope you're enjoying your first FPL season. About 6 super chats missed, I think. We'll drop them on Discord. Jesus, how am I missing that many? Thanks, Frosty. One sec, guys. Apparently, I've missed loads of super chats. I'm just going to get through those quickly, and then I'll get back to answering the other questions in the chat. Answered that one. Who first bench, Webster, Salisu, or Solanke? Who first bench, Webster, Salisu, or Solanke? I think Solanke looks like he'll miss out, so I guess he'll either start or miss out, probably. Maybe you put him first sub. I would go Webster, probably just. I don't really like any of them, to be honest. But yeah, I'd probably go in that order: Webster, Salisu, Solanke. But if you think there's a chance Solanke starts, of course he would go first up for me. Almiron, Rashford / Iwobi, Gordon, Gray. I prefer Rashford there. If you're going to go for a Everton asset, I still prefer Gordon, but I know a lot of people are quite keen on Iwobi. So I would go Rashford. Vice captain, I've got Tony, Zaha, Martinelli, Rashford. I don't massively like any of those, to be honest. I prefer Salah, Foden, Saka, Jesus, Freddie. Hopefully you've got one of those options that I've mentioned. Out of the ones you've given me, probably a penalty taker, so I would favour Tony or Zaha. I always like to captain penalty takers if I can. Firmino to Kane, or should I roll this week? I'd roll Kane or Saka as a vice captain. I think both are fine. I would probably lean towards. I'd probably lean towards Kane. Just. Hopefully, I got all of those questions answered then. So the vice captain on the chat, by the way, we've had 3,200 votes. We've got Salah at 50%. So 50% of people are vice captain in Salah. 14% of people are vice captain in Saka / Jesus. 22% are vice captain in Kane. So Kane's ownership this week is going to be through the roof. And 14% are on other. And when people were commenting, there was a couple of KDBs, Fodens, and then just a few rogue like Martinellis and other stuff in the chat. So I think most people are leaning towards Salah. And if they don't own Salah, it's probably Kane. So I think most people will probably have a premium captain if Haaland does miss out this week. The other question I wanted to ask in the chat is like, what have you taken the hits and stuff this week? So let's go. By the way, I've still not taken a hit this season. We are still hitless this season. I think I've only made 9 transfers this season or something like that. I've just dropped another poll in the chat. Feel free to answer it. Yeah, I think we've only made 9 transfers, which is pretty cool. I'm sure I'll take hits in the second half of the season. When we have double game weeks, I love it. I love a hit in the double game week. Who is the penalty taker for City if Haaland is out? It's Mahrez still, though he does miss, doesn't he, quite a lot. Outside of that, I'm not actually sure. Probably De Bruyne. Probably De Bruyne, but he just doesn't like pens. You can tell. He's not confident stepping up and taking a pen. I would still probably say De Bruyne, though. I'd love it to be Foden, but I can't see that. I'm trying to think who else might. I can't see anyone else stepping up other than De Bruyne if Mahrez isn't on the pitch. Maybe Alvarez, if Julian Alvarez is on the pitch. Mount and Firmino to Saka and Tony, or Rashford and Darwin. I'm still not sure about taking out Firmino, but if you want to, I probably prefer Rashford and Darwin there. However, actually, Saka and Tony's 2 penalty takers. I think Rashford and Darwin are better without pens, but the fact you get 2 penalty takers in Saka and Tony might make me lean that way. Dave the Dave Man has just become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate that. Drop me a message or drop one of the mods a message. There you go. Frosty's just said, drop him a message on Discord and you can get added to the private channels. Bowen / Solanke to Rashford / Wilson or Bowen to Saka? I've just done Bowen to Saka, but I don't mind the Rashford and Wilson combination if you want. But I do really like Saka for this week. Yeah, Gundogan could take a penalty, actually. That's a good idea. What is the hype around Almiron? I'm not entirely sure. Where would it be? Is it here? His data's just okay. Like, it's okay. He's not fantastic, Almiron. So no, I'm not fully convinced around the hype around Almiron, to be honest. Pep said KDB or Edison. I can't see Edison. If Edison steps up and takes a pen, that would be absolutely hilarious. It'd be hilarious. Buy Tony or Mitrovic this week? It's a good question. I would lean Tony. I know he's on 4 yellows, but just the fixtures. I mean, you've got the fixtures on your screen. City and Manchester United in the next 3 for Mitrovic. I'm not sure that now's the time to be buying him. I might even sell Mitrovic next week. So I do like the fixture this week for Mitro, but assuming Tony doesn't get suspended, I think I prefer Tony's fixtures. Jesus is going to score a hat-trick. I do feel like it's coming. I feel like he's been quite unlucky so far. / poor finishing. If you'd get Shaw, why not sell Gakey instead of Doherty? With Forest in the cup after Liverpool, I can see Spence starting against his old club and Doherty versus Leeds. I mean, you've completely missed out Emerson Royale there as well. I never feel completely comfortable that Doherty's going to start. And I don't know the way the rotation's going to go. And doesn't Gakey have Nottingham Forest in game week 16? I can't remember. Yeah, I'd just start Gakey against Forest, assuming he's not suspended for that game. I could sell him, but I probably won't make the move anyway. But yeah, that option is there for sure. Are you not concerned Haaland will come on in the 70th minute? This will probably come back to bite me, but no, not particularly, no. I think Haaland will start or he won't even travel. I don't see the value in dragging Haaland to Leicester away to sit him on the bench if he's not fit. And if he is fit, just start him. So no. Just saying, Ross, Haaland is on the graphic of Man City's matchday post on Twitter. That is honestly the biggest... I won't swear. It doesn't matter. So just in case you weren't aware, the people that make the graphics for Team Sheet, not for Team Sheets, for the day before, you know, there's a graphic that goes live. I can't even remember what it's called, but the graphic before the game, the people that make the graphic have no idea what the team news is. They just send that off to like an intern or someone to make the graphic. They've got no idea if Haaland's starting, so I wouldn't pay any attention to that. But like I said, I did get that DM which says that Haaland isn't starting. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. Chisel Planet says, if Haaland misses the game, I'm captaining Darwin. Is that a bad idea? No, I love that. I love that. I think you're fine. I think he's a perfectly good option for a vice captain / captain. If you don't have Salah, who do you vice captain? Mitrovic, Zaha, Saka, Tony, or Foden? As I've said for a while, I do like to captain penalty takers. So I would probably lean towards someone on pens if you can. So maybe Saka out of those options. I mean, you've got 4 penalty takers plus Foden. And I do think Foden's a great option. But yeah, I would lean for a pen. The reason I say that is you never know what's going to happen in FPL. I like the fact that I can captain a player that even if they have a bad game, they can still get points. And we've seen in recent weeks, Kane has had so many penalties that I tend to favour that if you can. Any updates on Haaland, or is everyone waiting for press conference? We're not waiting for a press conference. That was yesterday. Nothing was said in the press conference. We've got no official update. Like I said, I have received a very mysterious DM that Haaland hasn't travelled with the squad. But I don't understand why... I don't understand. Okay. That's fair enough. Okay, so I can't tell you what I've just been sent. But the guy that has given me the early team news that Haaland hasn't travelled has just sent me something which would make me lean towards believing it quite convincingly. Okay? So that's all. I can't get this guy in trouble because he's been nice enough to send it to me. But the guy's just sent me something. Yeah, I would feel fairly comfortable saying that his source may be accurate. So there we go. I can't share it because I'd get the guy in a lot of trouble. Why is it such a secret? Because if this person gets found out for sharing this sort of stuff, then they would lose their job, wouldn't they? Do you have the entire starting 11? No, I don't have any information on the starting 11. The guy's told me that Haaland hasn't travelled, and then he's sent me something which would make me believe that this guy could be correct. Now, again, I don't know for certain. Please don't suddenly like transfer Haaland out or change the captaincy on the basis of what I'm saying. All I would say is make sure if you're captaining Haaland, your vice captain's sorted, and make sure your first sub is fine as well. You shouldn't disclose the gender of the person. I think that's fine. I think you're fine. Basically, I don't have anything 100% official, but there we go. I'm trying to check Twitter. I would be surprised if... I'd be surprised if one of the big accounts that leak, like Team News and Ticks, or... I'd be surprised if one of those big early Team News guys doesn't get... If Haaland hasn't travelled, if he doesn't get anything. We'll see. We'll see. We've still got an hour and 15 minutes to the deadline, so I think we're fine. Pep is the one DM. Imagine if it is Pep. Just fake Pep. No, it's not Pep. Is the source Nanoraptor? Yeah, Nanoraptor's actually dating Pep. So there we go. Play Andreas or take out Welbeck for a -4 to get DCL, Wilson or Tony, then bench Andreas. I just play Andreas. To be honest. The other thing I would say, hey, the camera went. I mean, that was literally perfectly on cue. It's usually about 45 minutes. It's literally bang on 45 minutes there. The last time Andy did that and was wrong, he got pelters. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not taking pelters. I'm not. I have said I have no idea if this guy is correct. He sent me something which would make me more likely to believe him, but I'm still captaining Haaland. So there we go. No face, no case. I'm hiding. I'm hiding my face because I don't want people to hate me. Chisel Planet has upgraded their membership to Rap Tier 1. Thank you very much, Mr. Chisel Planet. Make sure to drop Frosty/Harris, one of the mods, a DM on Discord, and they'll sort you out. I think I'm caught up on the super chats. Apologies if I did miss one. I think I'm still leaning towards leaving the armband on Haaland. This is going to be a funny game week. I do feel like it's been a game week of... It's going to be a game week of massive swings. I feel like I can see a few like 15, 20 pointers coming from some of the players that maybe some people own but not others. Like, I reckon one of like Rashford, Saka or Zaha could get a huge score. If you don't own that one player, then all of a sudden, obviously, you're massively behind. So, yeah, I could see this being a big swingy game week where there's some people sat there with like 40 points and there are some people sat there with like 80, 90 points. It does feel like that kind of game week. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Never back the early game. Yeah, maybe you're right. There's two I didn't hear, but probably me. What would be your bench order? Yeah, I didn't answer that. Edouard, Andreas, Gahey. Probably in that order. Edouard, Andreas, Gahey. I like that order there. If you don't have Salah, who do you vice captain? Yeah, I think I said Saka for that one. Have you made your transfer? Yes, I did make one of my transfers. I've got 2 free transfers. One of my transfers was Bowen to Saka. The second transfer, I'm not sure yet. I probably won't make it. I'm probably leaning towards rolling the second transfer. If Erling is out, is KDB better than Saka, Tony? I don't know. I think they've got used to playing with Erling. It's not to say that KDB can't deliver against Leicester away without Erling Haaland, but yeah, I would probably captain. Yeah, I would shut up. I'll probably captain KDB if I had him, and Erling is out. I'm hoping we get some news. Why are you benching Doherty? Most people seem to be predicting a Doherty benching, but I'm still not 100% convinced. Dojo Gaming says, "Oh, it's become a member. Thank you very much, Dojo Gaming. I appreciate that. Join the Discord, and then drop either Frosty or Harris or Andre or Rich, one of the mods, a DM. Hopefully they're in the chat. They can let you know." Yeah, let me show you why I'm currently leaning towards benching Doherty. I could end up starting him. Let's switch back here. So where was the predicted 11s for Spurs? So this was the thread. So basically, she aggregates the predictions from everyone, and then someone also does like a thread with information. So this person here has predicted Emerson Royale and Sessegnon. And then if we go to the predictions for like everyone, where's Spurs? Doherty's kind of like a mixed bag. So 59% are actually predicting him to start. 41% are predicting him not to. So basically it's like a 50-50 there. But Paul O'Keefe has predicted a Doherty benching as well. So I think when you like combine everything, I think it's looking fairly likely that Doherty will be benched. Also, where was the quote? There was a quote from Conte today which basically said that they need to prioritise the game on Tuesday, because obviously they play the Champions League on Tuesday, not Wednesday. They need to prioritise the Tuesday game above and beyond the Bournemouth game this week. So I think Doherty's their first choice right wing back. I think that he will be saved for is it Marseille, the Champions League game, basically. I am slightly tempted to switch the armband off of Haaland, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Mr. Late Riser Pranil basically thinks the same as I do. I think there are quite a few players that look primed for a haul, but I just don't know which of those is going to be, obviously. So I think it could be quite a swingy week, to be honest. I do think it could be quite a swingy week. Right, what have I missed? Chris has upgraded his membership to Rap Tier 1. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate the support. Take out Solanke or take out Fofana. I have 1.7 in the bank. I would keep Solanke because if he's fit for 15, 16, he looks really good. So I would take out Fofana and bring in anyone you want. Luke Shaw, Cresswell, White. There are a few good options you've got there. Yeah, I'd keep Solanke. Almost an hour to go, and I still have dilemmas on hand. Andreas to Saka or Solanke to Jesus Nunez, or start Anderson ahead of Doherty. Goalkeeper is Gaeta. I like keeping Andreas, but I love Saka. I like keeping Solanke, but I like Jesus and Darwin, to be honest. I guess the high upside is to do Solanke to Jesus Darwin. But like I said, if Solanke's back for 15, 16, he's got 2 nice fixtures. I think it's Leeds and Everton. I'd probably attack it and do Solanke to Darwin. Probably. What are your thoughts on Calvert-Lewin? Yeah, I love Calvert-Lewin. I did have a graphic I would chuck up whilst I'm answering some other questions. Not that one. That one. They're my favourite differentials at the moment. Convince me to do Zaha to Saka or Mitrovic for Jesus. I don't like either of those, so no, I'm not going to convince you to do either of those. I think I'd keep Zaha and Mitrovic. I wouldn't be moving to Saka or Jesus. I think they're both fine options this week. By the way, I'm just going to end that poll there. 83% of people are not taking a hit this week. Actually, it's 85 when you consider the chips. So most people... That's not 78 US dollars. Someone's just said $78. That super chat is, I think that's 78 Hong Kong dollars, which is about, I want to say about £8. So no, it's not a $78 donation. Should I take a hit to do, well, not US dollars. Should I take a hit to do Salah Tony for Saka Kane for -4? Or just do Doherty to White Cresswell for free? My bench defenders are Nico and Emerson. I don't know which way you're saying there. Are you saying you want to sell Salah and Tony for Saka and Kane? I definitely wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it either way. I would keep whichever combination you have there. I wouldn't be moving those on. Or just do Doherty to White Cresswell for free, my bench. I would do Doherty to White or Cresswell. Or Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw's good as well. Unless you think Doherty's going to start, in which case just start Doherty. I'm still not sure if I'm going to start Doherty or not. At the moment, I'm starting Gatehey. Hello, mate. What are your thoughts for Game Week 15? Is Saka and Mitrovic to Foden and Solanke worth a -4? Yeah, I don't mind that in Game Week 15. I don't mind that in Game Week 15. That looks quite nice. But again, we'll discuss that more in next week in detail, Jamie, because anything could happen this week. But yeah, that looks like a sensible set of moves for me. Happy Halloween to you, mate. Happy Halloween. Yeah, I forgot to put all my Halloween Raptor stuff on the screen, but oh well, I missed it. Firmino to DCL for a -4. I would say no myself to that. I think Firmino, if he starts, will be fine this week. I definitely wouldn't take it. Why is there no Darwin in your differentials? No reason, to be honest. I don't think he's particularly differential amongst like FPL Twitter, I guess, was the reason. I think his ownership... What's his ownership in actual FPL? I don't know. No, I think Darwin's fine. There's no reason he's not on there. There's no good reason anyway. Just over an hour till the deadline. Still some key decisions to be made. Still some key decisions to be made. Let's switch you back over there. Jackie Chan has asked, 2.1 million in the bank, Bowen and Solanke to Rashford and DCL for a -4, or Bowen to Foden. Other alternative is Bowen to Rashford this week than Solanke to DCL. It largely depends like what your bench is. Like if you don't make one of the Bowen and Solanke move, is it Andreas coming on, which I don't mind. But I think Rashford and DCL is a spicy set of transfers. But Bowen to Foden and then starting someone like an Andreas and not taking the hit probably makes more sense. So I will lean towards, without knowing your bench, I would lean towards Bowen to Foden. I would lean that way. Is Haaland playing? I've got no idea. I'd like to give you a definitive answer. I'm leaning towards no at the moment. So I might switch the armband. Hey, Ross, looking handsome today. Thank you. I appreciate that. And someone said, no kidding, he looks incredibly fresh. Am I right? Thank you for all of the compliments. I do appreciate that. You lot are too kind. 2 free transfers, Salah to Saka and Firmino to Kane. No, I don't like selling Salah and Firmino ahead of Leeds at home. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. I know Liverpool haven't been great in the Prem. I'm just still not sure about that. So I would say no, Josh, unfortunately. Have you seen Darwin's stats? His expected goals will be due a hat-trick. Yeah, Darwin's got a big haul coming. Darwin, Rashford. There was a third player. I think Darwin and Rashford in particular look like two players absolutely primed for like a 15-pointer at some point. So yeah, I would like either of those. I think they're both looking pretty good. Alex has asked, Darwin or Jesus, 4 yellows scare me off. I'd go Darwin. I like the idea of Darwin. People are citing your stream as a source for no Haaland. If people want to do that, that's up to them. I've at no point said that it's definitive. I've at no point said that I know for a fact I can trust him. I've still got the armband on Haaland, right? So I'm obviously not convinced enough. Missing the wool jacket. I love that jacket. The jacket comes back every now and again. I feel like I can't wear the jacket every week because then people get sick of it. So for now, we are rocking the Under Armour. I forgot what this is called. The Under Armour t-shirt. Let me have a look at Twitter. What are people going insane on Twitter? I've not said that 100%. I love that. I don't think people are citing me, are they? I can't see anyone doing it. Listen, I'm not convinced quite enough yet anyway. Yeah. I think the guy that DM'd me is watching the stream, which is pretty cool. We'll see, mate. We'll see what happens. I appreciate you sharing if it is correct. If it's not, disgraceful. Yeah, I see. There are a couple of people trying to cite me. It's not my news. I would love to have in the nose. I would love to have knowledge myself. Like I would love to know someone because then I would feel comfortable. When it's this person knows this person who knows this person, then it starts to get a little bit messy, doesn't it? David has asked, would you do KDB and Haaland to Salah and Kane for a -4? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be selling KDB and Haaland before the next 3. If Haaland is out, hopefully you've got decent first sub. And then I would still want Haaland and KDB for the... Is it Fulham? It's Brentford and then Fulham? Fulham and then Brentford? It's Fulham at home and Brentford at home for the final 2 for City. I would be shocked, like I said, if Haaland hasn't travelled to Leicester, because it's an away game, I would be so shocked if someone doesn't snap a picture or a journalist doesn't find out before 11. It's the early kickoff. It is. before I lie, it is the early kickoff. So I'd be shocked if Haaland hasn't travelled if we don't get anything. But stranger things have happened. City do a very good job at keeping a tight lid on early. Like, you rarely get City leaks. City are very, very good at that. Like, there are some teams you're confident you'll get a leak. Manchester United are terrible. Liverpool aren't great. Didn't welcome me as a member. Oh, I'm very sorry, Eric. I've only just seen that. I wasn't looking at the chat. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. I do appreciate you. And I appreciate the support. Can't take a picture of a man who isn't there. But this is what I'm saying. Someone would take a picture or a video of the team and say Haaland hasn't travelled. So apparently they travelled last night, though. So maybe they did it in the dark to hide the fact that Haaland wasn't there. Who knows? Who knows? You just sold Saka against Southampton. What? What did I do? Saka not playing Southampton. What happened? Is Jesus injured? I don't think so. Not that I've seen. Sessegnon in for Perisic. You could do, but trying to... Like, Perisic could easily start. I'm not sure I would want to play games with the Spurs. I think I'd just get rid of the Spurs wingbacks. Apparently, Haaland did well in training yesterday. Oh, I didn't see that news. Listen, this is all a lot of hypothesizing. Unless we get something from someone that we've trusted repeatedly. And again, this isn't to crap on the guy that's giving me the information. Unless it's someone that I know is accurate, I wouldn't act on it massively. But definitely, if you're captaining Haaland, definitely get your vice captain, your first sub sorted. I love that we've just done that, and then someone's just in the chat like, any updates on Haaland, or has Haaland travelled? It's obviously people that I know people haven't been here for the entire stream. It's just funny that they're timing. Sophie has asked, are there any doubts as to whether Cancelo is fit to play? No, not that I've seen anyway. Cancelo was pictured in training, and Cancelo was pictured in the recovery session with City as well, and there was nothing said from Pep to suggest he wouldn't be. So I think Cancelo will be fine. As far as I know anyway. As far as I know. You missed my super chat. Did I? Firmino, Darwin, or Jesus? Ward to Raya -4. Thanks. I would captain Darwin, and I'm not sure about Ward to Raya for a -4. No, I wouldn't do the -4 for the keeper. I would captain Darwin. Bowen to Saka or get... Sorry, I'm just catching up on the super chats. Bowen to Saka or get rid of Webster/Zuma as my third defender. Who do West Ham have this week? Why have I blanked? Man United. Brighton have... Oh my good God. It's all right. I only spend like 40 hours a week. Brighton have Chelsea. Yeah, I would maybe sort out your defence. Or just play one of them and hope for a header or something. Like, I don't hate the idea. I don't hate the idea of maybe doing the Bowen to Saka and just hoping your third defender gets something. I think defensive transfers, if you're making a defensive transfer, I think you want to bring in a defender with high upside, probably. Yeah, I'm struggling, Frosty. Thank you. I'm missing things left, right, and centre here. Sell Zaha for Anthony. Man United fans, I might take a punt. I wouldn't sell Zaha for Anthony, no. I would prefer Rashford, and I still wouldn't sell Zaha for either of them, to be honest. Got a big super chat from Andrew Moore. Thank you very much, my man. Saliba and Kane out for Cancelo and Darwin for a -4 hit. I don't like that at all, personally. I think Saliba and Kane look... I mean, you're selling Saliba against Forest at home and Kane against Bournemouth for a hit. So I would lean towards no. But listen, I love Cancelo and Darwin, but I would keep Saliba and Kane. I have Andreas, Edouard, and Gakey on my team. Which two do I play if Haaland is out? I don't have Mitrovic, but I do have Zaha. I would probably play... And I would go Edouard and Andreas and bench Gahey. Yeah, I'd always back the attackers unless your defender's got higher attacking upside. Right, let's get these ones that I've missed. Got just under an hour till the deadline, guys. Plenty of time still, but do make sure that you're starting to think about some of the things you want to work out in your team. Andreas to Almiron, Bruno Guimaraes to... or Mitrovic to Wilson/DCL. You're saying Andreas to Almiron or Bruno or Mitrovic to Wilson DCL. I wouldn't sell Andreas. I wouldn't sell Andreas or Mitrovic. I'd keep both of them. If you want to make a move though, Mitro to Wilson DCL sounds a little bit spicy, but I'd keep both of those. Zaha to Saka, Mitrovic to Jesus, Almiron to Martinelli. 1 free transfer. I wouldn't sell Zaha, Mitrovic, or Almiron, really. If you're desperate to, I would probably sell Almiron for Martinelli, but I don't think you need to make any of those. 7.5 million for a striker. Who would you choose? I'd go Wilson or Calvert-Lewin. Sell Zaha for... I've done that one. Solanke first sub behind Haaland or -4 for Wilson. It depends who your second sub is if Solanke doesn't play. And it also depends if we get early team news on Haaland. I would lean toward... I would probably not do it, assuming you've got a decent second sub. Isak Lundstrom. All right, I think I'm caught up on everything. Jesus. Jesus Christ, I'm missing everything. Right, let me try and find where we are in the chat. Apologies, everyone. -8, either Salah or Kane to Haaland. No, God, no. No, I wouldn't be taking a -8 ever, really, unless it's double game week, and I definitely wouldn't be moving for Haaland when there's doubts if he plays. If you mean you're selling Haaland, I still don't like it. Basically, I wouldn't be taking -8, especially to move your premiums around. Ben has asked, I currently have Son, but I'm thinking of using my 1 free transfer to bring in Saka. I already have Martinelli. Thoughts? I think I would keep Son for Bournemouth. I would look if there's another way to get Saka in. I don't hate it, but I would keep Son and roll the free transfer probably. Yeah. By the way, we've got something like 1,800 members on Discord. Make sure to join the Discord. Harris has been spamming the link in the chat just now. Make sure to join the Discord. We're almost at 2,000 members. Would be pretty cool to hit 2,000. There are loads of really, really sick updates as well in the Discord as well. So it's definitely worth joining. Would you start Botman or Gahey? Depends if you have any other Newcastle defenders / Palace defenders, but I would be leaning towards Botman. Botman's data is actually not too bad. Like, there's a chance of a goal. Andrew says action bias seems to be a real thing in Game Week 14. You're spot on, Andrew. You're spot on. I do agree with that. Everyone seems to be just desperate to do something with their team. That's why I'm perfectly happy just rolling the second free transfer, I think. People that watch my content every week, it does feel like I've got 2 free transfers every week, doesn't it? It's a very... It's one of those like conspiracy theories that Raptors always got 2 free transfers. 1,817 members as of right now. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. How many subs are we on? I might have to be really annoying in this stream. Guys, we're only 500 subscribers away from 50,000. So I'm going to be extremely annoying and ask you, plead to you, please subscribe to the channel. Only 500 from 50,000. That would be humongous. So please do subscribe if you've not yet. Raptor, who would you start between Nico or Castagna or transfer 1 for a hit? I'd probably... I don't like hits for defenders. I would probably start Castagna. I feel like he's got a goal in him soon, and it is at home. It does feel like it could be a minus, though, doesn't it? I don't know. That's a tricky one. I don't think I would take a hit. Connor has said, "Hey, FPL Raptor, please help me please help my mate out. He has a severe case of FOMO and wants to know if he should go Mount to Saka for this game week." I would do it. I would do it, Connor. Yes. I would give in to the FOMO. Not if it's for a hit, though. If it's for a hit, I would just keep Mount and hope he does something. If it's for free, I would do Mount to Saka. So hopefully that helps out you, mate. Smells like yellow. You didn't attach a message. I'll look out for your name. But thank you for the super chat. Are you captaining Haaland? At the moment, yeah. I could be tempted in the next hour or 50 minutes to switch from Haaland to Salah, though. I could be tempted. Pep right now in Rossi's stream laughing at everyone who captains Salah over Haaland. Can you imagine? Pep's just sat there on before the game. He's not focused on tactics. He's focused on, I need to watch Raptors deadline stream. There are more important things than working out how my team will beat Leicester. Let's watch Raptor. It could happen. It could. Who knows? Who knows? What do you think of Foden vice captain? I don't hate it. Like I said, I always tend to favour captain in a penalty taker, but I don't hate it. I really want to do Haaland to Kane. Team value ruining it, though. That's a good question, right? Guys, let's say we get news before the deadline that Haaland is confirmed to have not travelled. Would anyone be tempted by Kane to Haaland? From Haaland to Kane, sorry? Or would you not want to lose the value and think that you want Haaland back next week anyway? Would anyone be tempted? Raptor, if you were a girl, I would have married you. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. If you were a girl, I would have married you as well. There we go. Um, Team News and Ticks 1045. Did he actually say that? Please tell me he said that. That would be massive. Let's have a look. Yes. Yes. What a legend. What a legend. We're going to get Team News. I've just spammed my own chat. Just spam my own chat. Sorry. Should I switch Dyer for Andreas? I currently have 4 defenders and 3 midfielders. That's a really tricky one, isn't it? Because I feel like Dyer is pretty good for a 6-pointer. But Andreas has been really good. I would play Dyer. I would play Dyer. That's a really tricky one, though, isn't it? Yeah, if we get to close to 50,000, I'll get the Social Blade live ticker up thing. Where are we? Is this your starting 11? Yeah, at the moment. He says it's on Instagram, so you need to follow him there. I'll share it. I'm following Team News and Ticks on Instagram. His Instagram isn't the same though, I don't think. One sec, let me get it up and I'll show you. Yeah, so we should get Team News on Haaland, which is good. That is positive news. Sorry, I'm multitasking about 40 things at once here. What was his name on Instagram? Or did he change it? It's leaked lineups. Can you see that? That's him. So if you want to follow him, I'm not logged into Instagram on my computer, so I'm not gonna be able to bring it up on my computer, but I'll let you know. I'll check that at 10:45. He tweeted no Foden, no Haaland. Did he? No, he didn't. I can't see anything there. Anyway, we'll look at his Instagram. Let me set a timer. We're taking this serious. We are taking this. Let me set an alarm for 10:45. And when that pops off, we'll know to check. I'll set it for 10:44. There we go. At 10:44, my alarm's going to go off. And we'll check. Right. What did I say to the members last night? I actually called this. Yes, it's Boona. Right. So everyone said that Boona had been suspended. I said, I've got a feeling that Boona's actually just deactivated and pretending he's suspended. He'll then reactivate his account and try us. It's not real Team News. Team News and Ticks will tweet it. That is hilarious, though. That is hilarious. I was correct. I can't find the... Interesting. Sorry, multitasking again. What am I doing? What did I say to the members that were in our call yesterday? I called it. His account is private on Instagram. Yeah, you got to follow him. I'll share the news anyway. If you don't want to do that, I'll share the news. Haaland to Nunez and Mitrovic to Jesus for a -4. Yeah, if Haaland's out, I feel like maybe you can do that, but then you'd want him back, wouldn't you? You'd want him back. I'm not keen, to be honest. 10:45 is when the bus arrives. No, the bus would have arrived way before that. Way before that. Raptor, when is your Talking My Subscribers to Sleep series coming out again? Soon. I'm so happy I called that. Everyone was like, no, Boona actually got suspended. Didn't. He's a liar. Sorry, I'm just checking Twitter to see if we get anything else. I'm feeling fairly confident that this guy that DM'd me is accurate. I'm feeling confident. The Discord members chat is discussing the possibility of marrying Raptor. I love it. I'll marry all of you. I'm always up for some love and affection. I'll marry whoever wants to marry me. I'll marry you right now. Over the next 3 game weeks, Saka or Rashford and Firmino or DCL. Rashford and DCL were the spicy picks. I feel like Saka and Firmino are the safer picks. I would lean Saka for penalties and I would go DCL for spice. So I'd go Saka and DCL as a combo, but I think all 4 of them are great. Do I sell Bowen or start Andreas if I sell who to? Do I sell Bowen or start Andreas? I've sold Bowen just because I think Haaland will probably miss out, so I'll get Andreas anyway. So it depends who your next sub would be if you start Andreas. Have you got someone to cover if Haaland doesn't play? What did the DM say? The DM said last night, I got messaged that Haaland didn't travel. And basically, also, the odds have just dropped massively on City to win. So City's odds to beat Leicester have just dropped. If you're interested in odds. All of that together would suggest to me that either City have got a weaker 11 out and Haaland still plays, or it's true Haaland is out. I'm going to, just for now, I'm just going to try it on for size. Just doing that. I've got a feeling that Haaland might not be playing. So I'm switching for now. I've probably missed loads of super chats. I apologise. Hardcore FPL manager when you have alarms on. Yeah, damn right. Bowen and Salah and to Saka and Foden -4, or just Bowen to... I wouldn't sell Salah. Yeah, I'd just do Bowen to Saka or Foden. I'd probably lean Foden. Good morning, Ross. Any news on Foden and Haaland? Lots of things seem to be pointing towards Haaland not travelling with the squad, or at least not starting. But we are going to get team news at 10:45 from Team News and Ticks on Instagram. So I've set an alarm at 10:45. Stick with me for the next 25 minutes. At 10:45, I will give you, hopefully, the full City 11. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. I'm sure it'll be tweeted as well and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry. We'll see how that goes. David, morning, Ross. Quality content as always. Been a subscriber since 3K. Massive appreciation for that. Keep smashing it, mate. Firmino to DCL or Darwin? I'm not selling Firmino. If you are keen to, Darwin does look good for this week, but if you think Darwin's going to do well, Firmino might be involved. DCL is a very spicy pick. Like, I really like DCL, but I'm not necessarily sure that selling Firmino, if he looks like he's going to start, is the best transfer. It's up to you. It's up to you, really. If it were me, I would go DCL, but I wouldn't. I'm not selling Firmino. So there we go. Tier 1 membership perks marriage. There we go. There we go. Morning, fella. How many subs are you on now? Good morning, Clive. Good to see you, mate. I am on. We're not going to hit on today's stream, unfortunately. We're still 440 subscribers away. So I don't think we're going to hit 50,000 on stream today, unfortunately. But we're still very close. We should hit it next week. Man City News tweeted no Haaland. Is this just Booner again? I'm pretty fed up of checking tweets only for it to be... No, Team News and Ticks didn't say Haaland isn't starting. That was Booner. Booner. For goodness sake. For goodness sake. At what point do we just agree that everyone needs to... At what point do we agree that everyone just needs to block Booner? I mean, I love him. In real life, he's a very nice guy. But he's an absolute nightmare for a content creator. Because the thing is, I can categorically say I've never been fooled by it. Because if I see a tweet, I'll click on the profile and I'll make sure it's legit. People just see a tweet and just retweet it without checking. And it does my nut in. Cash has said, 1 free transfer, Mitrovic for Edouard, Almiron for Andreas, or roll this week. Scared of Mitrovic next 2 fixtures. Love the long-term value on Andreas. I think I would just roll the transfer and play Edouard and Andreas. I think you're fine. I don't think you need Mitrovic. Obviously, I own Mitrovic, but I don't think you necessarily need Mitrovic. I'd probably roll. Saka or Kane captain, assuming Haaland is out. I'd go Kane. Eric has asked, do I sell Maddison for Saka? Yeah, I'd do it. Go for it. Although apparently the City lineup doesn't look great, I've seen people say. I don't know why. I don't know what about it in particular, but it may make me lean towards keeping Maddison and starting him. Should I bench Rashford for Andreas? Definitely not. Play Andreas or Trossard. Take your pick. I'd probably lean Andreas, but Trossard is fine for this week. When are you changing your team? Excuse me. What do I need to change? I'm joking. I've already made 1 transfer, which was Bowen to Saka. I'm probably rolling the 2nd transfer so that I have 2 free transfers in Game Week 15. So I'm probably leaving my team as it is. If we get anything that would suggest that it might be worthwhile making another transfer, then potentially I will do so. But for now, I'm currently leaning towards leaving it as is. Saka or Foden for Bowen? I still prefer Foden. Would you captain Foden, Kane or Saka? I'd captain Kane. Basically, captaincy this week so that people don't keep asking the same questions. I would go Haaland if he's fit. If not, I still prefer Salah, then Kane, then Saka. Again, I'm big on penalty takers. I know I sound like a broken record, but I like the fact that if they have a poor game, they can still get you something. So, yeah, it would be Salah, Kane, Saka in that order if you don't have Haaland. 4,500 people watching live. I know, that's insane, isn't it? Welcome. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers without annoying you too much. So please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Your captain is Salah. Yes, my captain is Salah at the moment. At the moment it is. Kane or Saka captain? I've just answered that one for you. I would go Kane myself, but I think both are fine. Who would you start, Andreas or Robertson? I'd start... Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? I would start Robertson. He's got attacking threat plus a chance for a clean sheet here. I'd start Robbo. Pep is such a troll that you got Haaland to hide on the bus. Can you imagine if they snuck Haaland in like under a blanket or something? Salah and Kane, who'd you captain? I would captain Salah. "35 minutes till the deadline, 20 minutes until we get the team news for Manchester City. So get your teams locked in roughly. 20 minutes, we'll hopefully find out if Haaland's starting or not. Hi, Ross. Congrats on an amazing start. Thank you very much. Mitrovic to DCL or Tony to Darwin or Tielemans to Almiron and bench Gahey. Everyone subscribe, please. Thank you very much. I would not sell Mitro. I would not sell Tony. I wouldn't mind selling Tielemans. So I would go Tielemans to a player at that price. Gordon, Iwobi, Almiron, Andreas. If you can get to Rashford, amazing. So I would do the Tielemans move personally. I personally anyway wouldn't be selling Mitrovic and Tony. People are very keen. This isn't just in response to that. People seem to be very keen at the moment to sell their good players. It just makes no sense to me. Like, why? I don't see the need to sell some of the players that people are desperate to sell. Like, looking at selling Kane and like Cancelo for a hit, or like just chill. Your team looks probably absolutely fine. You don't need to be panicking just because one team has a decent fixture. Hey Ross, no, Team News and Ticks has not tweeted that Haaland and Foden doesn't start. That is not a real account. That is Booner. For goodness sake, it is not. Basically, in 20 minutes, we will get the official news. Until then, no one knows anything. Ignore Man City. I'm not going to answer any more Man City questions about who's starting for the next 18 minutes until we get the official news from the main man himself. Andrew Shaw says, Rashford or Zaha for Bowen. Feel like Xhaka is a trap. That's fine if you feel like that. Zaha's the safe option. He's going to start all three of them and he's on pens. Good fixtures as well. Rashford's the spicy option, probably with a higher ceiling. So it depends what sort of manager you are. I would lean towards Rashford for me, but I do really like Saka. Zaha, I should say. Apologies. Oh, that last request to subscribe went well. That gained an extra 100 subscribers. There we are. We are now 340 subscribers away from 50,000. 4,800 viewers, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Haaland to Darwin and back. I don't like it because you lose team value, but it's up to you if you want to do it. Who is Booner? Booner is basically... Speaking of which, Sam's just messaged me saying, don't worry, that he thinks it's funny that I've got to keep explaining who Booner is. Booner is an idiot. If you're watching this, Booner, I hate you. He's basically an account that pretends to be other accounts and tweaks fake team news. But everyone just keeps falling for it. Like, I've got no one... Why are people not clicking on the account and realizing that it's not a real account? But there we go. Basically, it's fake team news. Do not listen to it. Do not listen to it. Block him. 10% of your subs watching concurrently live is big. Raptor is massive. It is pretty cool, isn't it? I can't believe there are 5,000 people sat here listening to me chat about stuff, but there we go. Bailey to Almiron, then game week 15, Mitrovic for DCL. Yeah, that sounds nice. I don't mind that. I mean, Bailey, if he starts, the new Aston Villa look like they could be decent, although Emery coming in, I don't know how that's going to change things. Mitrovic to DCL for game week 15 looks nice, though. Is Haaland out? We'll find out in 15 minutes. Start Trent or Dyer? Definitely Trent. Should I captain Haaland? I'll let you know in 15 minutes. Tony captain? I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Who's the best £6 million midfielder? 6 mil. What am I doing? Midfielders first, then switch. Who's the best £6 million midfielder? Maybe Eze. I mean, Almiron's fine. Like Xhaka and Almiron are fine. I just don't know if they're gonna. I don't think they'll sustain what we're seeing so far. I would be tempted by Eze and Gordon. I'll go Eze and Gordon just for something a bit spicy for you. But I think Almiron and Iwobi and Xhaka, the more popular ones that have scored quite a lot of points already, I think they're fine as well. Hey mate, on a back three, Trippier, VVD, Ben White, Cancelo. Who drops to first sub? I was part of the 21-22 Luke-led mental health project. Very helpful. I'm glad to hear that was helpful. Well, if Haaland doesn't play, which looks likely, you're going to get them anyway. So I would still probably bench Ben White but it looks like you'll get Ben White when Haaland misses out, if Haaland misses out. So I would first sub Ben White. I would play Trippier, Van Dijk, and Cancelo. I have 2 free transfers. Who are the musts for this week? I don't think there are any musts as such. I think that you pick who you want to pick. There's only 3 weeks left now, so trust your gut feeling a little bit. If you take off your hat, you'll get to 50k. It's good luck. Is it good luck? Is it like a genie rubbing their lamp if I rub my bald head? Juan Mata has become a member. Juan has become a member. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the support. Welcome to the Raptier family. Thank you for joining. Hi, Raptor. Would you prefer playing Solanke or Bailey? I would play Bailey because Solanke, there's a good chance he doesn't start. Max has asked, Zaha, Solanke to Saka, Kane for -4 or Duffy to White? I'm not sure about Zaha out as part of a -4, but Saka and Kane coming in looks beautiful. I would be tempted by that Saka Kane for -4, but Duffy to White looks good as well, Max. But yeah, I would be very tempted by that -4, I must admit. Botman out for anyone. Also Sinistera or Andreas. I would go Andreas and... No, I think Botman's fine for this week. We will have Haaland team news in 12 minutes. Will Firmino start? I've got no idea. I'm gonna hope that he does. I'm gonna hope that he does, but I don't have any definitive news on that. He could start, he could not. Zaha to Saka, Firmino to Darwin, both for free. Not for me. I don't like that. I do prefer Saka and Darwin, but I feel like you could use something better with your free transfers, probably. Oh, that's awesome. I've just seen that. So Chisel Planet has just given away a Raptier 1 membership. I completely forgot that was even a thing. Thank you for gifting a Raptier 1 membership. It's actually gone to Gay, which is super cool. So I think Gay has signed up on Patreon, but now also on YouTube. So thank you for doing that. That's really cool. I forgot that that was actually a thing. Sam has asked, Andreas to Saka for a -4 if Haaland is not starting. No, I think Andreas is fine. I wouldn't be that confident that Saka outscores Andreas by more than 4 points, to be honest. Ross, I'm stuck. Who scores more between Rashford and Saka over the next 3? Over the next 3, I think it'll be close. This week I would back Saka, but over the next 3 it'll be close. It depends. If Rashford starts all 3, I'd maybe back Rashford, but I've gone Saka. Right, my transfer this week was to bring in Saka. Forest at home's great. Obviously Chelsea away's not ideal. Wolves away isn't terrible. I've taken a risk on Saka. I'm hoping he does enough this week. Somebody give me a membership. You can sign up yourself if you want to. I don't think you want to rely on other people gifting memberships. Did they say anything about Solanke yesterday? I haven't seen anything. Let me know in the chat if I've missed it. I think it's still sort of touch and go. For what it's worth, I think he'll probably miss this week and come back for 15, 16. But no, I haven't seen anything myself. I'll be honest, I haven't been looking out for Solanke news because I don't own him. So it's not obviously been the priority thing for me. Subscribe to the channel. Are we less than 300 subscribers away now? Let's have a look. We are 260 subscribers away from 50,000. There are 5,700 people watching. I guarantee 260 of you haven't subscribed. It's guaranteed. In fact, the analytics say that 50% of people that watch aren't subscribed. So realistically, there's probably about 2,000 of you that are watching this that haven't subscribed. If you subscribe, it will make my bald head very happy. Haaland to Kane for 1 free transfer. Yeah, we discussed this. I'm not sure about taking Haaland out because you're going to want him back and you'll lose value on him probably. So I'm not sure. I'm only subscribed for the post-deadline chat. My wife likes the soap opera of Ross's life. I'm excited for today, Marcus. It's going to be good. I'm excited to answer some of your questions. Are you doing anything special for 50k? I've not really thought about it. It's all been going so crazy that I've not really been thinking about it in too much detail. But yeah, I feel like I should. I feel like I probably should do something for 50k. Maybe, I was going to say maybe do a Q&A, but I do a Q&A every week. If anyone has any ideas of what you think I should do for 50k, let me know. Bald head reveal. I reveal my bald head about 20 times a week. I don't think people are that desperate to see it. Subscribed and got notifications on the real goat. Shave off your beard for 50k. That's not happening. Play Maddison / Andreas and roll a transfer, or do Maddison to Saka. Also, would you captain Jay's? Oh my god, the chat's moving so quick. Play Maddison / Andreas and roll a transfer, or do Maddison to Saka. Also, would you captain Jesus or Darwin? I'm stuck on captaincy. I would captain Darwin, and I would probably do Maddison to Saka for free. Topless stream for 50k. That's not happening. I'd get banned. Will Cancelo really start this week? I think Cancelo will start, yeah. I think we all wanted bare-chested 50. It was far too many of you are suggesting me take my top off. That's outrageous. Who is DCL? Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Hot tub stream for 50k. I don't even have a hot tub. I live in a studio. Unless you're expecting me to get a studio, a hot tub into my studio. Honestly, I've never seen the chat move like this. It's ridiculous. My face is... Hey, Ross, I'm puzzled. Do you know if I should captain Almiron, Foden, or Andreas? Captain? I would never be captain Almiron and Andreas. Foden's fine. I think you've probably got better options than that, though, to be honest. Zaha to Saka and Haaland, if benched to DCL for -4. I don't like either of those personally, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Hey, bud, Jay says, is it worth starting Andreas over Haaland in case he only comes on for 10 minutes? That said, he'll probably bang one. No, I'm going to start Haaland unless we get 100% confirmation that he's not even travelled. But even so, then it doesn't really matter, I guess. I would start Haaland. But yeah, I would almost prefer 15 minutes of Haaland than 90 of Andreas. Haaland's so good. But it would mean I would take off the armband, of course. My word, the chat has gone insane. Is Bowen playing or injured? I don't know, but I've taken him out. I've done Bowen to Saka. Trent or Trippier? I'd probably lean Trent, to be honest, but I think they're both fine. Bro, you're freaking me out by captaining Salah. I'm sorry, I don't mean to freak you out. I've just seen your message, DJ Hammer. Let me pull up that guy. No, that's not anything to trust. That guy has no early team news. We've got 5 minutes till we get the stuff from Team News and Ticks, by the way. So we should have the City lineup in, what is that? 5 minutes. And I'm hoping we get the full lineup. I also hope that it isn't just the starting 11, because then we don't know if Haaland has travelled or not, which makes it really tricky. But wowza, that moved quick. New subscriber, keep up the great work. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Would you captain Salah or Jesus? Thanks. I would go Salah myself. Penalties swings it in favour of Salah for me. Live sub count. Yeah, I can pull up the sub count in a second. I'll do it after we get the City team news. We are 106 subscribers away from 50,000. 106 subscribers. Right, Frosty's just sent me more ones that I've missed. Thank you, my man. Yeah, 106 subs away from 50,000. Let's do it. We can definitely do that. I believe in us. I believe in us. Doherty for White or Shaw? I prefer Luke Shaw, but he's obviously a bigger risk. I just think over the next 3 fixtures, I prefer Luke Shaw to White, assuming, of course, he plays the next 3 in the Prem. And then Pesky has asked, Solanke/Kilman bench if no Haaland, -4 for DCL. I think Kilman's fine, but yeah, you would expect Brentford to score, so I might be tempted by -4 for DCL. Maybe, yeah. I do really like DCL for the next 3. Even if he doesn't get anything this week, you've got him for 3 really good fixtures. I don't know how Andy does it. How many people are watching Andy stream right now? How does he get away with the chat moving that quick? Yeah, there are 18,000 people watching him. Like, how? I don't understand how he reads. Alan has asked, Mount, hold or sell. 0 in the bank, sell for Rashford. If it's for free, I would sell for Rashford. Yeah, I really like that, Alan. But it really does. I wouldn't do it for a hit. My way of thinking is always, if it's for a hit, I would probably avoid doing it myself. Unless you think there's real upside, or unless you're taking out a player that you don't want long term and isn't playing this week. You need a vertical monitor for the chat. That's actually a cracking idea. Aaron, you have to go. I think my monitors actually swivel. Maybe I'll get a monitor. Maybe I'll get a vertical. Maybe that's actually a really nice idea. I like that. Say I love Liverpool for 50,000 subscribers. I can't do that. I'm so sorry. Do I start Andreas or Edouard? I'd maybe just lean Edouard, but Andreas is fine as well. He's obviously safer for minutes, isn't he? Edouard could either not start or only play like 60. Salah or Darwin for captain. Darwin's very tempting, but I would still go Salah just for the penalties. Right, we've got 2 minutes. We've got 2 minutes until we get some City team news. Do stick around. In 2 minutes, I'll hopefully be able to tell you who's starting in the City lineup and hopefully give you Haaland news as well. What's the live sub count? We're 14 subscribers away from 50,000. 1-4, that is. Would you keep the captain on Haaland and vice captain Kane, or just... Oh. That means 1 minute. That means 1 minute until, hopefully, some interesting news. It is going to be on his Instagram. And like I said, I'm not logged into my Instagram on my computer. So I'll have to be doing it on my phone. But I'll let you know straight away. Let's have a look. So hopefully we find out in the next minute or so whether Haaland starts or not. For what it's worth, I don't think he's travelled. But we'll see. Hey, we've just hit 50,000. 50,000 subs. Thank you so much, truly. Like, that is honestly the most amazing milestone. I've been wanting to hit that for so long, and thank you so much. If you're watching this and you're one of the people that are subscribed, I love you very much, truly. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Chisel Planet has just gifted another Rap Tier 1 membership. Who got that? Who got the membership? Eoshan. Say thank you to Chisel Planet. He's just gifted you a Rap Tier 1 membership. That's pretty awesome. Everyone's just saying, get the top off. I'm not taking my top off. It's not happening on stream. Thank you for everyone saying congrats. I really appreciate you. Come on. Why has he not put anything up? Am I going crazy? Excuse me. We're all waiting. We're waiting. This is his Instagram, by the way. That's what we're waiting for, but he's not put up anything. Yeah. Unless he's put it on... He's not put it on Twitter, has he? He said Instagram, didn't he? Excuse me. Apparently I'm missing super chats. Good God. I'm trying to multitask here. Where's the chat? Get the cap off, Baldy. The cap's... Stop trying to make me take my clothes off. Stop it. PS5 giveaway for 50. I don't even have a PS5. I've got a PS4. I'd like a PS5, to be honest. Good morning, Ross. Love the content. Entertaining and useful information. Just a little something to show some support. Have a great weekend from your fellow Baldy. Thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate you very much. Where's Frosty? Help me. Start Cucurella or Andreas. I would start Andreas. Allison or Ramsdale. Captain Kane or Saka. Start Gahey or Doherty. I would captain Kane. I would start Gahey. Haaland and Foden aren't starting. That's not ideal. Okay, so what he's just said on his Instagram is that Haaland and Foden aren't starting. Sorry, I'll get through to the chats in a second. Haaland and Foden aren't starting. That's all he said, which is really annoying. He hasn't said whether Haaland misses out. No, that's not. It's not Buna. It's not Buna. That's what he's just put out. What do we do? Right, we've got 15 minutes. Foden being benched 2 weeks in a... I've got to think there's something going on there with Foden. He started every Premier League game. Do we sell Foden? Foden to Rashford? No, Raptor didn't swear. I bit my lip as I went to swear. Do we sell... Chat, help me. What we thinking? Foden... So Haaland's not starting. Do I want to bench Haaland and do I want to sell Foden? That is madness. Selling Foden feels knee-jerk. It does, doesn't it? Do I start... I don't know what to do, to be honest. I actually don't know what to do. I'm thinking just leave it. He's added a winky face. He could just be aware of Buna's tweet. Nah, he wouldn't risk his reputation for that. I would feel fairly comfortable saying Foden and Haaland are both. Do I bench him then? That's the other question. Although Foden for sort of 20, 30 minutes against Leicester away could be fine anyway. I suppose, right, here's my worry, right? Here's my worry. If Haaland and Foden both miss out completely, like they don't feature at all, I'm relying on Doherty. So I'm tempted to maybe do Doherty to Luke Shaw. It's not Buna, it's Team News and Ticks on... Look, I'll show you. Right, so this is his account. Oh, all right, I'll show you with my right hand. It's probably a lot easier rather than cack-handed. That's not Buna. And then on his thing, you can see that post there with Haaland and Foden. He said that Haaland and Foden aren't starting. So, there we go. You need to do another transfer. I'm probably thinking that might be the case. Hi, Ross. Foden to Saka this week, then Salah to KDB next week. Yeah, I don't mind that. Oh, my camera's gone. Now's not the time for my camera to go. I'm still here, don't worry. What do we think? What do we think, chat? 10 minutes. 10 minutes to make a decision. 10 minutes to make a decision. Have they travelled? I don't know. He's literally just said they're not starting, which is quite frustrating. If I knew that Foden was out, then I'd sell him. If I knew that Haaland was out, I'm not sure. I am tempted by Foden to Rashford, but I've got money built up in Foden. I bought Foden at 8 mil and Foden's 8.5 now. So I don't think I want to sell Foden. So I guess my decision is, do I want to sell Doherty for Luke Shaw and bench Gahey? Chisel Planet has gifted another Rap Tier 1 membership. I appreciate you very much. Sijono has just been gifted the membership by Chisel Planet. Or alternative, do I just... Yeah, I know my camera's gone on. I'm going to turn it back on now. Or do I just alternative start Andreas ahead of Foden? I don't want to do that, I don't think. Because then when Haaland misses out... I don't know what I'm doing. Doherty to Shaw sounds ideal for you. It does until Doherty starts. It does until Doherty starts, doesn't it? Foden benched. Foden is... Apparently Foden and Haaland are benched. That's the team news. If you've missed it, Foden and Haaland have been benched. God, this is absolutely manic. I wish you'd have told us half an hour before the deadline rather than rushing these decisions. Right, so the decision then comes is... So I could sell Doherty for sure with my second free transfer. Cancelo's out. Says who? Oh, God, don't tell me that. Imagine all three of our City boys. No, I think Cancelo's fine. Sorry, so the option is, I love to see the whole FPL community scramble. We're all panicking, aren't we? If I do Doherty to Shaw, that puts me in a decent position for next week. And for this week as well. That's knee-jerk. Is it knee-jerk? I don't think that's knee-jerk. I don't think it's knee-jerk at all. No, that's not a £1,000 donation. Don't worry. It was like a 20 or something like that, I think. 40. It was quite a big donation, though. -4, Bowen and Doherty for Saka and Shaw. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yep, that's fine. What about Foden to Mahrez? Nope, not doing that. Never in a million years am I doing that. Mahrez could do well, though. Right, quick flash poll. I've just run a quick flash poll. If I do Doherty to Shaw, it means that if Haaland and Foden both miss out, then I get Gahey off the bench. Yeah, so if you're just joining, by the way, welcome. Haaland and Foden are apparently both not in the starting 11. We don't know if they're benched. We don't know if they've missed out. Yeah. So this is my team, just quickly. If Haaland misses out, Andreas comes on, right? So it would look like that. If Foden then misses out, I get Doherty. So this is the issue. If Foden doesn't feature, I've got a slight issue with my team. So I'm wondering, do I basically bring Doherty and sell Doherty for sure, and then my team would look like this, right? So this would be the way my team would line up. Andreas would come in for Haaland, and if Foden misses out, I have Gahey coming on. So it's whether I make that move to switch from Doherty to Shaw. The poll is basically 50-50. That's annoying. Yeah, I prefer Shaw to Dallo because Dallo's on 4 yellows. More viewers than Focal and FPL Mate. Interesting. Yes, yellow. I'm captaining Salah. Yeah, I'm captaining Salah. Definitely. I just think now that we know that Haaland's not travelled with the team, or not, actually, we don't know that. We know that Haaland's not in the starting 11. I'm going to captain Salah. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like that. This is the way I'm running. This is what I'm going for. Let me just refresh that to make sure it's locked in. Cool. Right, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to roll the transfer. If Foden does miss out altogether, hopefully Doherty can do something for me. Locking your teams. Basically, the news, if you've just joined, the news is that Foden and Haaland both aren't starting, We don't know if they're on the bench or just missing out altogether. So I would make sure that you've got your bench sorted, and I would also make sure your vice captaincy, if you're still captaining Haaland, is sorted as well. I've switched the armband to Salah, and I've got the vice on Saka. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. You've got 3 minutes-ish till the deadline when you eventually see my voice. Hear my voice. There's a bit of a delay. You have to play Andreas over Foden, surely. Do you think? Spam in the chat. Who would you start, Andreas or Foden? Who would you start, Andreas or Foden? Everyone's saying Andreas. Well, I'm probably going to get Andreas for Haaland anyway, aren't I? So I guess that doesn't matter. It's more Doherty or Foden. I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm leaving it as is, guys. I think as you see is what you get. Captain Salah. Vice captain. The FPL site's just crashed. Oh dear. Oh dear, the FPL site's just crashed. Well, it has for me anyway. I don't know if it's crashed for you guys. The FPL site has just gone absolutely terribly for me. I'm getting a server error when I try and use it. Is the FPL site crashing for anyone else? You've got 2 minutes to the deadline. Yeah, it's crashed. Oh dear. Hopefully your teams are sorted. Hopefully your teams are sorted. What an exciting deadline this has been. Well, I think what you can see on your screen, I'm not going to refresh it because then you won't be able to see it, but I think what you can see on your screen is what I've ended with. This is madness, isn't it? Jesus Christ. You got 1 minute to try and get back onto the site. The app's crashed as well. Yep, it looks like everything's crashed. Okay, the app's still working for a few. Maybe try the app. The app's working for a couple of people, apparently. That is absolutely hilarious, but also shocking. Let me try the app. No, the app's crashed for me as well. The app's not working. Oh, it is. The app's just back up now. Try the app if you need to check. App's just worked for me. It's sort of back and forth. The app's definitely doing better than the site. My team is as it looks on the screen. So the green screen's ruined that. This is absolute madness. Website's back now. Is the website back? You've only got like a 30 seconds though to lock your teams in. Nah, the site's still not working for me. Oh dear. This is why we love FPL. This is what it's all about, isn't it? This is what it's all about. Foden being benched is such a nightmare. If I didn't have money tied up in Foden, I might have sold him, but... That's it. We are locked in. We are locked in. That is absolutely ridiculous. What a deadline that was. Thank you for 50,000 subscribers in amongst all of that madness, by the way. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, bloody hell, that was insane. And I think we hit like 8,000 people watching live at one point, which was crazy. So thank you. Don't leave though. We do carry on streaming. I'm not gonna leave. We're gonna be here for about another 45 minutes to an hour talking about all sorts of stuff. So please do stick around. Don't leave now. Now is not the time to leave. Wowza. That was madness. Bloody hell. So feel free to get your questions in the chat. If there are any questions that you've always wanted to ask me, FPL or non-FPL related, now's your time. I'll pretty much answer any question as long as it's not really rude, basically. If it's extremely rude, then I won't answer the question. But other than that, get as personal as you want to, basically. I'm just going to tweet out my team very quickly. Chat was madness right before the deadline. I know. It actually froze. Do you play Ultimate Team? A little bit. I'm just so busy that I've not really been able to play as much as I'd want to be honest. But yeah, so I'm just tweeting my team. Are you doing OnlyFans at 100k? Yes. I can confirm. I'm not really. No, I'm not really. No one wants to see that. GameWeek 14 team. Bowen to I don't know what you've just sent me, Yellow. Now I'm checking that in 2 seconds. Bowen to Saka. What am I doing? I'm trying to multitask like loads of things at once. 1 free transfer. Show us your current Ultimate Team. I'm so there are some great questions already. I will show you my Ultimate Team maybe at some point. Yeah, am I nervous for this week? Absolutely, especially knowing that 2 of my starting 11 aren't starting, which is always a good start, isn't it? And I've got Gahey, who I don't really want to own. Yeah, my team's a bit of a mess. If Firmino doesn't start as well, I might as well give up. Right. Sorry, ignore me just on my just on my phone whilst 3,700 people are waiting for me to get back to answering questions. You have to show us what Yelena just sent you. Oh, I can't do that. No, it wasn't anything like that. It was, I don't know. How was the date not a date? Well, how was the not a date date? The not a date was an enjoyable experience. Thank you for asking. Do you know what? I'll do that in a bit. I'm too busy trying to read questions at the same time. The FPL site crashed. Yeah, the FPL site did crash. That isn't ideal, is it, particularly? What's your Twitter? My Twitter is... I'll show you. My Twitter is at FPL__Raptor. Here's my Twitter. That's me. Hey, we could look at this. This is exciting. We could do this live together. 50,000. Get in. So there we go. That's my Twitter. I'd like to hit 100,000 followers on Twitter. That would be cool, wouldn't it, before the end of the season? So do feel free to follow me. I'll put the link in the chat. There you go. Right, where are the rest of the questions? Imagine Haaland... If Haaland and Foden started, that would crack me up. That would crack me up. Have you got a missus? No, I'm single. I do not have a missus. Congrats on reaching 50k, a memorable stream for more than one reason. That was a ridiculous stream, wasn't it? That was probably the most insane stream we've ever had. I would be interested in your OnlyFans. Thank you. How did you get into psychology? I studied it at GCSE. I really enjoyed it at GCSE and decided to study it at university. And I did a bachelor's in psychology. I did a master's degree in sports psychology. And I'm now doing a PhD in sports psychology. And I also lecture in sports psychology. So there we go. What is your favorite book? Probably Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, but potentially Atomic Habits by James Clear is also a really, really good book. Oh, okay. That is so upsetting. I've just seen what Yelena sent me. Sorry. That is, let me show you the video. It's her trying to it's her trying to confirm Salah captaincy, but the app was broken. I shouldn't laugh. That's really upsetting. I'm sorry. If you're still watching this, I do apologize. I think that happened to a lot of people. I think a lot of people got basically locked out of making any decisions that they wanted to. Chisel Planet has gifted another Rap Tier 1 membership. Thank you. You're basically just going to give the entire chat at this point Rap Tier 1 memberships. So thank you. What is the ultimate post-deadline snack? It's a good question. I don't know what I've got today. I don't actually think I've got anything. Can I be your missus? Josh asked. Yeah, of course you can. Go for it. There you go. Josh is now my missus. Congrats on the 50k, my favorite FPL YouTuber. Thank you so much. Can't believe it. That is, like, obviously every milestone's right. 40,000 is crazy, but 50,000, I don't know, like half a century, it just feels like a very big milestone, doesn't it? What is your favorite fragrance? Do you mean like aftershave? Is that? I wear Aqua di Gio, but fragrance, I don't know if that's just a general fragrance question. I'm not sure. Where do you lecture? Nottingham-Trent University. Take the top off now. The top is not coming off. Do any of your students know you from FPL? Yeah, quite a few actually. This year, there's been like genuinely probably like 10% of the students have recognized me. It's a very strange one. So yeah, quite a few of the students do know who I am. It's funny as well, the assessment for my first year students that I'm teaching at the moment, their first assessment is a group presentation, but it's online. So they basically have to record YouTube videos and they upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video. So it makes me laugh that I've got to assess their presentational skills, right? So I have to assess how well they present to a camera, how well they speak, and how well they understand the stuff. And I feel like it's difficult for me because I obviously judge based on YouTube, but I have to remember that these are 18-year-olds that have maybe never spoken to a camera before. And I actually look back to some of my earlier YouTube videos and I'm terrible. Like if you go back and watch some of my early YouTube videos, I'm like, my shoulders are like caved in where I'm really shy and I'm like mumbling to the mic. Like it takes a lot of experience to be able to look at a camera and to present to it. I got sidetracked there, but yeah, the students do recognize me. Does intelligence matter to be a better FPL manager, or is it just lucky decisions? I think you need a bit of both. My favorite book is Ross's book. That is a great answer. Would you recommend doing a PhD? Only if it really benefits what you want to achieve in life. I wouldn't do a PhD for the sake of it. I wouldn't do it for the sake of it. What advice would you give to your 18-year-old self? That's a great question. I could do a whole video on that. I would tell myself to not worry about it. Everything works out in life. And I would tell myself to... I feel like my outlook on life is much better now, and I'm a lot more chilled. Like I don't stress over minor things, and I only stress over what I can control. And even the things I can control, I try my best not to stress. Hopefully I give that impression, but I'm not someone that will worry about things that... Like, if they're in my control, then I'll change them. And if they're not in my control, then there's no point stressing. So I guess I would tell myself to just relax a little bit. Because I used to be a little bit more uptight. And I used to worry about a lot of different things. Not necessarily like full-blown anxiety, but now I feel a lot better and I feel a lot more comfortable and confident. So yeah, I would just tell myself not to worry and just to enjoy life, I guess. Do your viewer numbers go up after Let's Talk finishes his stream? No, because people don't want to stick around and hear me talk about Tinder and OnlyFans and my big bald head. So no, it tends to be the case that actually they drop a little bit after the deadline. I can't believe there are still 4,000 people here though. Hello. We will talk about when we get the City team news, the official City team news in 20 minutes, we will talk about that as well. Chisel Planet is like Oprah today. Chisel Planet's on a mad one. I'll have to thank you so much for that because he's just gifted another Rap Tier 1 membership. So thank you so much. If you did OnlyFans, would you keep the hat on? I would do whatever you want. Whatever you guys would want to see. Have you read The Psychology of Persuasion? I have not, but that is on my reading list. Who's your favourite celebrity crush? FPL Focal. No, I don't really follow celebrity stuff. I'm very much of the opinion I would rather focus on improving my life and having friendships in my life. It's not like a snobby thing to say, but I just don't enjoy following celebrities particularly, so I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head. Of course, there are loads of attractive actors and stuff, but I'm not interested particularly. Will you be watching any of the football today, Rushy? I'll probably watch a lot of the football. I do need to go to the gym later, but I'll probably try and time that where I don't miss any games. Describe yourself. That is... I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable doing that. Just shared the Yelena video stuff with the wife and she said she was upset she didn't experience it live. By the way, let me know in the chat, did anyone get locked out of making a decision right before the deadline? Because... There are far too many people asking if I've got OnlyFans. There can't actually be that. You know, I'm going to make one just to see how many people sign up. I'm not going to post anything. I'm not really. I think that would ruin everything for me. Says that and then stresses over FPL. I actually don't stress over FPL. If I look like I'm stressing, it's more for entertainment purposes. I'm a fairly relaxed person. I wouldn't deadline stream. If I couldn't handle the pressure, I wouldn't deadline stream. If your YouTube channel took off further, would you stop doing the sports psychology stuff? I think there's definitely the option to go full-time YouTube at some point, but I would still do psychology stuff on YouTube. So I would make a second channel. So I would love to do a channel called Rostalsit, which is my name, where I basically just talk about just general psychology, mental health, fitness, nutrition, whatever interests me. So I would still do psychology, but yeah, I may not sort of teach psychology. It really does depend on how well YouTube goes. I mean, at its current rate, obviously it's going very well for me, but I fully appreciate that could change at any moment. That could change at any moment. Someone said if they could go back and speak to their 18-year-old self, they'd tell them not to play Fantasy Premier League. Ross, more Tinder stories, please. Tinder's been pretty quiet. I'm not really interested in Tinder at the moment. I'm not really interested, unfortunately. We love hearing about your life, Daddy. I'm glad to hear that. I want to hear about your OnlyFans and your bald head. Outrageous. What is your morning routine? God, my morning routine used to be fantastic. It's terrible at the moment. I check my phone now in the mornings, which I didn't do. Let me tell you what my deadline stream was. My deadline stream? What did I mean to say? I was reading. My morning routine. My morning routine was wake up, turn off my alarm, don't check my phone at all, even for work, like check nothing. Go wash my face or shower, depending if I've showered the night before. Brush my teeth, sit down and have breakfast. I did actually get into a stage where I was doing yoga. I got into a stage where I was reading, sat up in bed for an hour and having a coffee. Like I was so super productive. And I got back into bad habits of checking my phone and flopping around and hitting snooze like 40 times. I don't know. My morning routine's a mess at the moment. Do you take any psychology and mental health modules at NTU? My girlfriend's there. No, because I'm a PhD, I don't, and I'm a PhD student and I'm a lecturer. I don't actually take any talk content. And I don't teach any psychology or mental health. I teach sports psych, so no. I probably wouldn't know your girlfriend. To be honest, I only just tune in now for this banter part. I like that, thank you. Any advice on getting better at talking to a camera? It's experience, it's purely experience. And it's also being comfortable with yourself. When I first started YouTube, I was very much of the impression that I was really boring to listen to. And this really interfered with my everyday life. I used to avoid social situations. I used to avoid dates. I used to avoid talking to people because I was of the impression that listening to me speak was boring. And I would actually trail off mid-sentence because I was so convinced that I was boring the person I was speaking to. And you can see that if you go back to my earlier YouTube videos, I would trail off towards the end of a sentence. And if someone trails off by that, what I mean is I'll be speaking and I'll say something like that. And it's because I feel like I'm boring people. But you've just got to be confident in yourself that if people are choosing to watch your videos, you must be fairly interested to listen, or at least a small selection of people must want to listen to you. So speaking to a camera is all about its experience and its confidence. To be honest, everything in life is confidence. I think you can get through like 9% of life by trying to improve your confidence. And I don't know how I've improved that over the years, but I guess it's just believing in yourself. And if people compliment you, taking that compliment and letting it boost your self-esteem. And there is a difference between confidence and arrogance. I think there's nothing more unattractive than someone that's arrogant. So I think you need to be careful. You want to be self-assured and you want to be confident, but you don't want to be arrogant. Because I think if you start becoming arrogant, then you'll drive away those people around you. I hope I don't come across as arrogant to most people, because I'm not. If I do, then that's not good. Can you do your best impression of a walrus? I'm not going to do that. I'd lose all of the people watching. Update on Tinder. Tinder is nothing. I've not been using Tinder. I'm not interested at the moment for reasons that I will not disclose. So we need to stop watching and focus on ourselves. Yes, you do need to stop watching me and focus on yourself. Absolutely. I'm like 20 minutes behind on the chat. Sorry for missing everyone's questions. If you had a question that wasn't answered, just feel free to ask it again. Don't have to spam, but just ask it again and I'll have a look. Tinder sucks. It does. It does. There are a lot of questions around a topic that I'm not sure I should discuss. I did Haaland to DCL and Foden to KDB, but it crashed. Ouch. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite you. I'd do it. I would like to hear more about psychology. Yeah, I think a few people would. Teeth before breakfast. It depends what I'm eating and when I'm eating. If I'm eating like directly when I wake up, then I won't. But sometimes I'll have breakfast like 45 minutes to an hour after I wake up. So yes, I would brush my teeth then before breakfast. It depends, I guess. Depends on when I'm eating and what I'm eating. Yeah, I think a lot of people would maybe be interested by that sort of channel where I talk about psychology. Flopping around. Is that not a saying that everyone uses? Flopping around. Like, you know, when you're in bed and you're just sort of flopping around. That wasn't meant to be some sort of innuendo. Do you brush your teeth before or after? There's a lot of discussion around my teeth brushing. Again, depends. If I'm waking up and having breakfast like that, then I'll just go straight for breakfast. But if I'm having breakfast like half... Basically, if the mint can wear off before I have breakfast, then I'll brush my teeth. A genuine comment. My wife and I have a stressful life caring for our disabled daughter amongst everything else. And this time of the week, listening to hearing about your life is calming. Thanks for it. I appreciate that, Marcus. I didn't realise that you had a stressful life around that. I can almost guarantee that you do a perfect job. From having to... I'd class you as a genuine friend, and having got to know you over the last sort of few months, and for hearing your wife's advice and different things that your wife said, I can guarantee that you do a fantastic job with that. And if you ever want to chat, then you know where to find me. Your Tinder bio needs to read top of the FPL Creators League. I think I could change my Tinder bio to whatever I want, and I don't think I'd have much luck, to be honest. This is the funniest stream ever. Love you, Raptor. I love you too. I love you too. I love all of you. I've got enough love for everyone. I've seen you at Nottingham Trent University. Come and say hello. If you see me at university, I get stopped quite a lot. I have no issue with it. Like, I'm not going to be like, why have you stopped me? Like, just prod me. Say hello, wave at me, do whatever you want. I will not think you're strange at all. You are not boring. You're one of the most interesting people I know. I really do enjoy talking and writing with you. Thank you very much, Zodiac. I appreciate that. Advice on presenting to a live audience. Now, this is a lot trickier. This genuinely is just a practice thing. And the more you practice, like I've been teaching now for 2.5 years, you could put me in front of Old Trafford and I'd feel comfortable presenting to that size. It just comes down to practice. You just need to practice. Any opportunity you get to speak to a live audience, practice it. And also realize that they don't care if you stutter or mess up slightly. Like, you will care significantly more if you stutter or mess up than they will. Like, they expect it. And think, if you've ever watched someone speak live and they stutter or they say the wrong thing and they correct themselves, does that detract for you away from their speak? It doesn't. Like, you don't care. And it comes down to this is one of my favorite things to talk about. There's something called the spotlight effect. So the idea of the spotlight effect is a psychological like bias, I guess, where we think that people care about us a lot more than they do because we're constantly thinking about ourselves. And it's not an arrogant thing. It's not a self-absorbed thing, but we are thinking about our lives constantly. But people don't care. Like, people don't care about you. And I mean that in the nicest, most positive way possible. People don't care a lot of you are probably only half listening to me. A lot of people, after I finish this stream, will just go about their day later and they won't even think back to this. So I guess don't think that people look like, and when I'm walking down the street, sometimes I walk down the street, maybe I've got a big spot on my head, or maybe I'm dressed in something that I don't feel comfortable in, and maybe I'm really nervous, but no one's looking at you, no one cares. And even if someone does care, oh well, if they're going to be rude to you, they're probably not someone that you should care what they think. And I think this has helped me so much with the confidence thing, that knowing, and I mean this in a positive way, people don't care if I make a mistake. People don't care if, for example, I look really ugly in a YouTube video. Like, sometimes I'll rock up to a YouTube video and I think I look really crap in that video. Like, the lighting's not good. Maybe I haven't shaved my beard. People don't really care. Like, they don't focus on your life as much as you focus on your life. I don't even know where I was going with that. Where was I going on that? Advice on presenting to a live audience. Yeah, basically, people are watching you for a reason. Accept the fact that they're there to watch you, and just don't stress if you mess up. And the more confidence that you feel and the more confidence that you portray, the better your presentation will be, I guess. I'm far from like a perfect presenter. I know I speak far too quickly. I repeat myself far too often because I want to make sure that people understand. And I use my hands too much when I'm teaching. It's terrible. I have to like hold something because I use my hands a lot. So I'm not a perfect presenter, but there we go. God, that was really like ranty, wasn't it? Sam Lee has tweeted. Do you teach at Clifton campus? I teach at Clifton campus, yeah. NTU Clifton campus. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing it on that one. Let me do it over here. I will get back to the chat in 2 seconds. Sam Lee. There we go. Where am I? Are there any girls here? There are 2.5% of the people that watch my channel are female. So, if you're watching this and you are a lady, feel free to say hello in the chat. Apparently someone wants to know. Your future wife is in the chat. Is she? Where is she? Oh, my voice just broke. That's not good. If my future wife... is she? See, this is the sort of thing. My voice just broke terribly. That's the sort of thing that I would have worried about. And be like, oh my God, after the stream, people are going to... Like, no one cares. Well, people probably do care, but I don't care. Who wouldn't want that bald, shiny head? Honestly, it's difficult to not feel confident when I just have loads of people complimenting me in the chat all the time. Thank you. Any tips for my first date on over 5 years tomorrow? She agreed to a date even though I think she is way out of my league. What do we think, chat? What's some advice for... I won't say your name just in case. Well, I'll just in case. Any tips for my first date on over 5 years tomorrow? She agreed to a date even though I think she's way out of my league. Firstly, if she's agreed to a date, that means she doesn't think she's out of your league. Secondly, in what sense? Because I think people get far too hung up on what people look like. Right? I went out with a girl recently that is significantly more beautiful than I am. Oh well, like if they've agreed to go out with you, then they think that you're worth going out with. And personality and vibes and just getting on with someone is significantly more important than the way you look. By the way, John, I can only see a small version of your profile picture, but you look gorgeous, and I'm sure she is not out of your league. But yeah, I would just be yourself and don't push it, because I think if this is someone that you could see yourself with long term, then in the date it will naturally go well. I think if you feel like you're forcing it on a first date, that's not good. So any date where it feels awkward, or you feel like you're having to try and make conversation or trying to make small talk, then I would probably say it's probably not worth pursuing that anyway. So just be yourself, enjoy it, wear what you feel comfortable in, speak about the things that you want to speak about, and if she enjoys speaking to you, then she enjoys speaking to you. There we go. I knew the chat would. Yelena is not out of your league, but she is beautiful. She is. As a girl, I would say be confident. Don't go in with that mindset. I would say confident. Girls find confidence very attractive, but girls find arrogance extremely unattractive. So you've got to find that balance, haven't you, between being confident but not being arrogant. And girls find voice cracks attractive. Do they? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep voice cracking then. That's good. What am I trying to read? Oh, Boona's in the chat. Oh no, Boona, get out. Boona, you've ruined my stream. You've actually ruined my stream repeatedly. I tried telling some people yesterday. They was like, because I was like, I've met Boona in real life, and they was like, what's he like? And I was like, he's like the nicest person I've ever spoken to. Like, I love Boona, but I hate him on Twitter. He's a prick on Twitter. Raptor Daddy, will you be my friend? I'll be any of your friends. Any of your friends. What are the most challenging aspects of being an FPL YouTuber? The most challenging aspects is it takes a hell of a lot of time, right? It takes me probably about 6 hours for most YouTube videos. Especially the GameWeek preview videos can take me north of like 8 hours altogether, like graphics, recording, research, editing, processing. But it's also the being in the spotlight. As soon as you get a certain amount of followers and subscribers, the amount of hate that you get is quite tough, and people get personal as well. So it's just knowing how to shake off negative comments, I guess. Raptor, you are the best. My favorite FPL, and your personality on the videos and streaming is top tier. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. She must be absolutely stunning if she's significantly more beautiful than you, Raptor. I don't know why you guys are all so kind to me, but I do appreciate it. So Michael's advice for a date is eye contact and ask them questions about themselves. I like both of those. Eye contact's a difficult one, though, because you don't want to make them uncomfortable. I'm very comfortable holding eye contact, especially with a camera. I'm not going to make it awkward now, but I could hold eye contact with a camera for hours. But yeah, eye contact's a big one. You don't want to be looking away from them. It looks like, number one, you're not interested. And number two, it looks like you're not very confident. And then asking questions about themselves is massive. You don't want to talk about yourself constantly. This is probably a problem that I have, because I'm so used to talking on YouTube and lecturing. I spend 90% of my week talking at people. So when I then have a conversation with someone, I have to try and remember that I'm not presenting and that I need to have a conversation. I'm a girl and a big football follower, Manchester United fan. Yeah, I know FPL Catch. You're in most of the streams, and I appreciate you being here, repping the girls. So far, you're not telling us her name. No, I'm not. It's obvious anyway, is it? Raptor, you missed a super chat by Booney. Yeah, I've just seen it. Sorry, I'm really behind on the chat. Raptor, you should do ASMR videos. I always have a smile on my face and I'm so calm when I'm listening to you. By the way, love your content and love you, bruv. Oh, the camera's gone. For goodness sake, camera. Yeah, maybe I will. Everyone has asked for ASMR videos. I'm not sure about that. How old are you, Raptor? I'm 25 years old. 25 years old. I'm 26 in March. 26 in March. Girls find head-sized eggs attractive, I'm hearing. I've heard the same, James. I've heard the same. Ross is the dating guru. The funny thing is, I've been on... Well, technically, I've been on 0 dates in my life. I've only been in relationships with 2 people, and neither of them were really dates. I was friends with both of them first. So yeah, technically, I've not been on any dates, but I feel fairly comfortable talking to people. I guess that's where my advice comes from, is from speaking to people, not from necessarily dates. Girls find FPL points attractive, do they? God, I must have all of the ladies then. Are you related with Johnny Sins? No, I'm not related to Johnny Sins. How much do you make off of YouTube now with 50,000 subscribers? It largely depends on how well you monetize your content. Are you getting brand deals? Are you getting affiliate commissions? Are you putting in a lot of adverts into your videos? You could make well and truly enough to support yourself full-time, or you could make barely enough to support yourself part-time. It depends on how well you do it. I would like to think I do it fairly well. So yeah, I make enough money from it. I'm not going to give you a number, obviously. Is this an FPL stream or clickbait? Oh God, sorry. Yeah, we don't talk post deadline. We don't talk about FPL. I do apologize. If you're here expecting FPL, there's not going to be a lot of it. Recommended books around the way we think. Thinking Fast and Slow, Atomic Habits, Happy Sexy Millionaire is a brilliant book. There are some good ones. Another gifted membership from Chisel Planet. I think that's like 6 or 7 in this stream. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And it was Jupiter that got the gifted membership. If you're wondering what I'm saying, there's a new feature. It's not that new, where someone can buy a Rap Tier 1 membership and gift it to someone else. And Chisel Planet has done that like 7 times in this chat. Too much eye contact is weird. Yeah. I'm not going to look at you guys. Ross, should I download Tinder, boss? I've not particularly enjoyed it. But maybe it's just my face. I've not been overly successful on Tinder, I must admit. Are you not single anymore? No, I'm single. Ross, this is so interesting. What a fine human being you are. Thank you very much. I'm sure you're a fine human being as well. Hands down the greatest FPL YouTuber. You're so kind. Imagine Raptor talks to women how he presents. Can you imagine? Hi there, FPL Raptor here, and welcome back to another date. In today's date, I'm going to talk about myself for the entire thing. No, I don't do that. Oh, the team news will be out. Man City. No, I don't do that. Well, I hope I don't. I probably do. Where's the team? So Cancelo does start as expected. Foden on the bench. Haaland misses out. So it's as we knew. So Haaland not involved at all. Foden benched again, which is random. And Cancelo starts. I don't think there's anything else really to draw attention to there. What's your advice for someone who wants to start FPL YouTube content? So I've got a very different opinion to most other YouTubers. Most other YouTubers that have been successful, their advice will be just start. Start. It doesn't matter if it's not very good. Just give it a go and you'll improve over time. I strongly disagree with that. My opinion is that you should start once you feel like you've got a good setup going. Like, I made sure that I had a decent camera. I made sure that I had decent graphics, and I made sure that I knew how to present. Because I feel like if you start really poorly, you'll get a bad reputation. If people see your channel and it's not good, they won't come back. So I'm of the opinion, spend a couple of months studying YouTube, spend a couple of months studying how to make graphics if you want to, take a couple of months to practice presenting to a camera, and then when you feel like you're ready, get going. And it really comes down to the number one thing for YouTube is creating engaging content. That is pretty much it. I think if you create engaging content and people want to watch your videos and they choose to watch your videos on a weekly basis, that is more important than anything else. But also, you need to get people to click your videos. So you need to learn how to make a good thumbnail. You need to know how to make a good title. And you need to make a brand. So I've created the brand of FPL Raptor, I think, quite well in that I've got a good following on Twitter. I'm over on TikTok, Instagram. Like, my big bald head and glasses and beard, like, it's easy to identify me, I think, in amongst others. So I think I stand out in that way. So yeah, build a brand, learn how to succeed in YouTube by doing certain things, and learn how to engage your audience. But other than that, just have fun with it. Like, unless you're super successful, and there's only, I think, 3 full-time YouTubers, unless you're super successful, it probably is going to be a hobby. So just have some fun with it. But yeah, if you want to make it your full-time job, you've got to do what I've been doing, which is regularly churning out content, trying to think of some creative stuff, good graphics, decent audio and camera, stuff like that. Aman has just become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you very much. Make sure to DM one of the mods over on Discord. And Mr. Bungle has become a Rap Tier 1 member as well. I massively appreciate you. Apologies if that's not how you pronounce that, because I see there's some accents on your name. What is your team lineup? That's my team lineup. Someone just said, Raptor offers Fantasy Football Hub discount codes to his dates. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I'm just imagining me doing a date as a video. I'm just imagining what I would say. Imagine having an outro rather than like, you know, saying goodbye. I've really enjoyed today's date. If you have enjoyed today's date, please do remember to text me for another one. If you would like 30% off at Fantasy Football Hub, there is a link in the description of my YouTube videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. And then just walking off. Or I could even play my outro. Oh my God, that's a good one. I should get my outro on my phone. I could play my outro. Cooking with Raptor. I do love cooking. You're so fit, Raptor. You're so fit as well, Sam. Thank you. When will the site be back? It's usually between 45 minutes and an hour, but last week it took ages. So yeah, I would say in about 20 minutes we'll get the site back. I'll probably go until my camera dies. Despite the fact it's on charge, it seems to use energy at a quicker rate than it charges. So it normally will die in about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's when I'll disappear. Ross, it was her birthday yesterday, and I was going to get her a gift. Nothing over the top. Good idea or not? It really depends on what the dynamic is between you two, John. But yeah, I don't think you can go wrong. What I would say is make sure it's practical. Like, you don't want to get her a bouquet of like 40 flowers that she's got to carry around on the date. So I'd get something small. And my experience with buying gifts for partners is that the thought is more expensive than the money, and that genuinely is the truth. So rather than it being like a necklace, get her something that, if you've got an inside joke already, like I can think of some inside jokes that would make for good presents for people that I may or may not have been speaking to, then I would rather go that way. Personal jokes I think are pretty funny. So yeah, I think there's no issue with getting her a small gift. Ross, have you watched something about Mary? Yes, I have, John. That is a classic film. I haven't watched that in probably about 6 or 7 years though. So Yelena is in the chat. Yelena just said, so you're telling me to buy furniture before starting a YouTube channel and not film from the floor whilst my phone is balanced on a vase? Vase? That's a good question. Vase or vase? Interesting. No, I think the setup you've got is fantastic. No comment on your setup. Will you ever do YouTube full time? I could do, yeah, definitely. I think I've got 3 years left of my PhD and my lecturing position, so I would favour finishing that rather than quitting that. And obviously I can't go full-time until I finish that. So yeah, for now, full-time YouTube isn't a thing, but it's definitely something that I'm considering in the future. You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking. Thank you. I assume you mean that in a nice way. I love this chat. It's so fun. Raptor, that would be cringe. What would be cringe? Why are you calling me cringe? Jordan, don't call me cringe. What do you want to do about all these guested members? Yeah, I'll talk to you about that after, Frosty. I don't know. I need to think about that. I'm not answering some of these questions. Starting my PhD at Uni of Birmingham next year in philosophy of psychology. That is very interesting, Matthew. You'll have to let me know more about that. Sounds really interesting. Unless you're saying it's like a PhD, basically, unless you're just saying it's psychology, i.e. a PhD in psychology. Let me know what your thesis title is, Matthew. Ross, have you ever tried a Peaky Blinders style cap? I have. It doesn't look too bad, actually. Maybe one year I will dress up as Tommy Shelby. I would have to shave the beard, though, because none of them have beards today. Look for a wife and not a girlfriend. That's decent advice when at certain points. I think if you're like 18, then you don't need to be looking for a wife. Ross, I'm 21. Would I be too young for you in our potential romantic relationship? I don't know, Josh. I mean, I'm probably not looking for 21-year-olds, but depends. If you treat me well, then maybe I would. Maybe I would, Josh. This stream has divulged into dating advice and broken dreams. Let me try again. You must be new to the stream if you do not realize that that's what we do post deadline. How does monetizing live streams work with no ads? It's a great question. So with YouTube, they ask me every 10 minutes to put ads into my live streams. So I've made the decision to not put ads in my live streams. And I will be honest, I lose a fair bit of money to do that. It doesn't feel right for me. I just feel like I'm talking to you guys. It's the deadline. I don't want you guys to see an ad every like 5-10 minutes. So I make the decision not to put ads, but I have the option. There's a little button right now. I could click a button and you'd see an ad, but I don't want to do that. I just think you could miss out on some really important information. So yeah, I choose to not put ads in my streams. Your parents must be proud of you. I appreciate that. I think they are, definitely. My mum and dad are awesome. JWL is asking the same question that I'm not going to answer because it's not. The outro on the date idea, you're brilliant otherwise, mate. Oh, that was cringe. Okay, I won't do my outro on a date. How was the football match you attended? It was so good. Like, what a game to pick. Nottingham Forest were absolutely unbelievable. Like, so we were sat in front of the guy. I don't even know if you could hear it on the TV. There was a guy like smashing the metal sheet behind us. So it gave me a bit of a headache, but yeah, it was good. The atmosphere was unbelievable. Obviously, I had Firmino and Salah, which wasn't ideal, but you know. What have been your most interesting findings so far in your PhD? I mean, we're very early on in it, Mary, but basically Premier League football clubs hate virtual reality at the moment. They're really not interested, so we've got to try and change the perceptions. So the only Premier League club we've spoken to that are quite big on VR is the Premier League hub that we're working with at the moment. Again, I'm not allowed to say which club that is, but yeah, there we go. They're basically, Premier League clubs aren't really interested in using VR. Raptor, have you ever humiliated someone? Not deliberately. I wouldn't ever humiliate someone. I'm not that sort of person, but maybe unintentionally. Put an ad in. I'm not putting an ad in. I appreciate everyone saying put an ad in. I'm not putting an ad in. If I put an ad in, the amount of viewers you get also drops off. I just want a girlfriend that cooks, to be honest. I'll cook for you, Chisel Planet. I love cooking. I don't need a girlfriend that will cook. I'll cook for them. I'm like I'm a domestic goddess in... Please don't clip that. I do a lot of cleaning, cooking, tidying. I'll do all of it. I have no issue. So, how much do you get paid on OnlyFans? I don't have an OnlyFans. If you're asking how much people get paid on OnlyFans, sorry, just saw a message. If you're asking how much people get paid, a shit ton of money, a lot of money on OnlyFans. Like I'm talking, like some people get millions per month, but me, I get nothing because I don't have one. Josh has got the Riz. Josh has got the Riz. The Riz. What is your religion? I am Muslim. All religions, all religions are fine in the chat, by the way. I would go for agnostic. I don't think I'm an atheist. Basically, I don't particularly believe in any specific God or any religion. That isn't because I'm ignorant. It's not because I'm not well studied. I actually studied religious studies, which was philosophy and ethics at A level. So I fully understand and appreciate all of it. But for me, I've just not seen enough that would make me believe, unfortunately. So yeah. Sorry, ignore me. Texting in the middle of a stream. Advice on weight loss. Eat less. I know that's a really stupid thing to say, but eating less is everything. Like exercise is important, but what I've realized over the past year or so, I lost quite a bit of weight. I got down to the lightest I've ever been. I got down to like 5% body fat over the summer, and it was mainly the eating rather than the exercising. So just smaller portions. And I don't think you need to go drastic with it. Like I think people are like, right, I'm going to suddenly have like half the portion size and never have any chocolate. You just need to reduce it marginally over time. Something that I actually had a lot of success with is intermittent fasting, which is basically I skip breakfast. So I would finish eating at like 8 p.m. I'd skip breakfast and then I wouldn't eat until like 12. That worked quite well for me. Right, the chat is out of control. Damien, thank you very much for becoming a Rap Tier 1 member. I do appreciate you. Oh my God, ladies, he cooks and tidies up too. Thank you, Claudette. No, I do genuinely love cooking and I love cleaning and tidying as well. If you can't really tell by my YouTube videos, I'm a very organized person. I don't know why. I'm really like seductively stroking my mic. You can't see it. I'm just like, I'm glad that's off camera. Ross Domestic Goddess Raptor. That's me. My missus keeps telling our 3-year-old daughter to find herself a man who can cook. I do the cooking in our house. Absolutely. Like, find yourself a man that can cook. I agree. Starting to believe that Raptor is gay. Okay. I mean, there would be absolutely no issue if I was gay. I can confirm I'm straight, but there we go. You are a great guy, mate. Hello from Somalia. Hello to you. Big up to Somalia. Ross, Andy, Focal, or mate? I was going to sit on the fence here. I'm not going to sit on the fence. I love Oscar. I think Oscar's... I am slightly biased because I'm very good friends with Oscar, but yeah, I really love Oscar. And I think his content is very different. Like I feel like my content, Andy's content, and Mate's content is similar-ish in that we're all doing like 20-ish minute videos and we're all talking through the same sort of stuff. Whereas I feel like Focals is really different. So I'll back my main man Oscar there. We would take turns on the washing up after dinner or do it. Josh is like fully moving to me, and I'm all here for it. Josh has got that game. Like I feel like I've accepted Josh's proposal. Josh has now said we would take turns on the washing up after dinner or do it together in each other's arms. What, like the Titanic? That would be cute. So like I wash up and like you. Okay, I like that, Josh. I also cook and tidy up, Ross, but tired of being the only one doing it in the relationship. I would say that, yeah, in a relationship, you don't want to be the only one. It's nice if you do the cooking most of the time, but one evening your partner says, I can do the cooking this evening. Absolutely. Are you going to play Alex Volkanovski? I don't even know how to pronounce it in the movie. I don't look that much like him, do I? Let me have a look. Everyone keeps saying it. Alex Volkanovski. Obviously, he's a bit of a nutcase, isn't he? Like, he's a pretty... Let's drag this over here. Apparently this is the guy I look like, everyone's saying. I kind of see it, right? He's bald with a beard and kind of similar features-ish. If he had glasses or if I didn't have glasses, oh, you're not going to be able to see that. I kind of see it. I do kind of see it. But no, I don't think so. What do you think, chat? What do we think, chat? Do I look like him? Discord link. Discord link is in the description. But I'm sure Harris or Frosty, if you're in the chat still, you could drop the Discord link for... Yeah, Frosty's there. Frosty, can you drop the Discord link? Have you got a girl? I do not have a girl, no. I thought it was FPL local for a time. Yeah, no, it's Focal. Focal did say the other day that he was originally called FPL Bin. That was FPL Focal's name when he first joined Twitter, was FPL Bin. Straight men have 10 times better riz flirting with other men. I'll be honest, my game, jokingly flirting with other guys is like incredibly good. I was like, why do I not have that ability when I'm talking to a female? It's impossible. Do you like Nottingham? Nottingham's a decent area. I don't mind it at all. It feels like a blend of Manchester and London. Because London's just insane, right? I lived in Essex, but I lived near London for most of my life. So I spent a lot of my life in London. It's just so busy and there's so many people. Manchester is like I'd say this in the nicest way, a bit like a grimy version of London. Like it's a little bit smaller, but I don't know. I feel like it's better for a night out. And I feel like I prefer Manchester slightly to London. And I feel like Nottingham's like a blend between the two. I've asked Yelena to join in the chat. Hold on, Ross. She's in the chat. She's just not saying anything. You have bigger biceps. I don't think I do. I'd love to say I do, but I don't think I do. You are sexier. Thank you. Where did Raptor come from? I'm a Toronto Raptors fan, NBA. You're all very interested. I'll drop her channel in the chat. Here we go. So, I'm going to spam this. This is a YouTube channel that you've just got to subscribe to. It's an FPL YouTube channel. Go subscribe. She's only 60 subscribers off 2,000. So, I've just dropped a link. If you guys want to support me, not me, but if you want to support a fellow FPL YouTuber, then subscribe to that YouTube channel. Only 60 away. I want to see that at 2,000 by the end of the stream. Go. What's your zodiac sign? I'm an Aries. Toronto Raptors fan. Call me when you're in town, Ross. Are you in Toronto, Claudette? Cool. I will take you up on that. Free accommodation? Free accommodation? No, I'm checking. I won't. But yeah, I do want to go watch a game for sure. I'm in Brentwood, Ross. Yeah, I grew up in Loughton, if you know that. So I wasn't really near Brentwood, but yeah. I did grow up in Essex. I have to hide the Essex accent. There's the girlfriend plug. It's outrageous, not girlfriend plug, don't worry. Subscribe for Ralph the dog. Definitely subscribe for Ralph the dog, absolutely. I'll sub if she's fit. I'll sub she is fit. Okay, so it's a statement. I mean, whatever reason you want to subscribe to her, do it. Just getting here. Sorry if you've already covered it, but is there any news on Haaland? Just that he's not involved at all. He's not in the squad. If I hit 2,000 subscribers, then Ross and I will launch our family vlogging channel early. There you go. If you get her to 2,000 subscribers, she will launch her... We will launch our family vlogging channel. For an behind the scenes. When do I get my badge as a member? Yeah, where is your badge? I actually don't know what's gone on there. I don't know. I'll look into that. I don't have a clue. Are FPL Lynn and Az still dating? Yeah, Lynn and Az are still dating. Ross, you're squirming around a bit too much. Am I? Wait, I'm going to act cool. Wait, how do I act cool? What does a cool guy look like? I don't know. I'm not cool. Do the full Essex accent. Oh, you don't want to hear that. I have to hide it. Why am I struggling to speak so much? Raptor, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I'm 25. I'm 25. What do you look like without glasses? In real life, I look absolutely fine. I'm not going to do it on stream. In real life, I look absolutely normal without glasses. For some reason, oh, just smacked my mic. On camera, I look horrific without glasses. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm so used to seeing myself in glasses. I'm not going to take them off because I hate the way my face looks. But yeah, I look normal with. I think someone asked me this in the previous stream. I've got a bit of deja vu. I'm sure someone asked me that exact question. Just click the wrong button. There's the 2K. Cool, she just hit 2K. Thank you very much. I'm sure she'll be very happy. Chiseled Planet with another gifted membership. What is your name? Do you want me to call you Chiseled Planet, or have you got a first name? Thank you very much for I think that's maybe like 8 or 9 gifted memberships. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Oh, my camera died. But I'm going to carry on chatting. I'll let it sort of charge up and I'll turn it back on in a second. When Raptor puts on the black fluffy jacket, it's over for everyone. Yeah, damn right. Raptor, me and you can recreate Romeo and Juliet. I don't really want to recreate Romeo and Juliet. That sounds a little bit... No, I'm not keen on that. I don't mind recreating the Titanic scene. I'm happy doing that. Az has got a wife, hasn't he? No, Az is in a relationship with Lynn. We love you, Ross. Cool guy does not look like you. Okay, I'll carry on not being cool then. Wow, you are only 25. Yeah, I know. I look terrible for 25, don't I? Yeah, I'm only 25. You're struggling to speak because you're a tad frustrated for reasons unknown. That's an outrageous comment. I'm going to just skip over that. I missed the deadline. Just seen Foden and Haaland aren't even in the squad. Listen, I actually didn't miss the deadline, and I'm still starting Foden and Haaland. So, you know, there's that. Why do you wear the hat the wrong way around? Who's to say the hat's the wrong way around? Maybe it's the right way around. Who knows? How many points do you reckon you'll get this week? 30. I'm feeling very, 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 very nervous about my team. Very nervous indeed. I know my camera's off. It died. I can give it a bit longer, but I think it's actually like dead rather than just lagging. I don't know why. How on earth did you get your PhD when you're only 25? I'm still doing my PhD. And I actually took a year out between my master's and my PhD as well. So, yeah, I'm still doing the PhD, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, I should say that. I'm still doing the PhD. Ross, I've got year 10 yearly exams coming up soon. Good luck, James. Is it worth studying hard for them or just relaxing as it's only year 10? I'd study hard for them. But I wouldn't stress about it. Like, no one cares about your GCSEs in the future. Like, I've never seen anyone at a job interview ask for your GCSEs. But what I would say is it sets you up and it sets up the sort of habits that you want to have. Like, I feel like if at your GCSEs you get into the habit of not working hard and revising and XYZ, then you'll develop habits of doing that for the future. So yeah, work hard, absolutely, but don't stress. If you get a bad grade, who cares? It's fine. But yeah, I would work hard. I say that as a nerd, though. I say that as someone that has revised so hard for everything. Like GCSEs, A-levels. If you looked at my grades, you would think I was the biggest nerd going. Like, honestly, the biggest nerd. Oh, for goodness sake, camera. Right, it doesn't want to work. So I'll probably just go for another 5. I'll go for another 4 minutes. We'll make it to 3 hours. PhD stands for pretty huge degree. Yes, I agree. Basically, because I'm lecturing alongside it, it's a part-time PhD. So I've still got 3 years left, unfortunately. I need to stop saying unfortunately. I've still got 3 years left. What did you do on your year out? I went around the world on my own for 8 months. Set me up for life. Marcus, I would love to pretend I was that exciting. I worked at Under Armour. Basically, the idea was I was going to take a year out to just spend more time with family, just chill, because I worked so hard during my bachelor's and master's to get the best possible grades, and it was worth it. But I needed to just take a bit of a break. So I got a part-time job at Under Armour. But if you guys know me by now, you'll know I can't do anything sort of half-heartedly. So I ended up working a 12-hour job. And then they asked me, they said, do you want to be promoted to stockroom manager? No, they didn't. They said, do you want to be promoted to full-time? And I was like, do you know what? I'm still getting enough time with my family. Yeah, let's go full-time because I could earn quite a bit of money. So I went full-time. And then they asked me, do you want to be promoted to stockroom manager? And I said, yes. And then they asked me if I want to be promoted to assistant manager. And I said, yes. So I went from a 12-hour part-time job to assistant manager in like 6 months. So I ended up just working at Under Armour as an assistant manager basically for just over a year. So I basically just earned enough money to give me a bit of savings. What's the best way to get through a breakup? Oh, I could give you hours of advice on this. Honestly, it sounds like the worst advice. When people used to tell me this, because I went through a breakup last November, it was quite tough for me. The advice I would give you is the really cliche advice, but it will get better over time. And there's nothing that anyone could say, including me, that would help you immediately after the breakup. You've just got to accept it is going to be absolutely crap. And just don't beat yourself up. Like, if you're feeling down, like, allow it. If you need a takeaway to make you feel better, do it. If you need to, I don't know, go and throw yourself into FPL, do it. Whatever makes you feel better, as long as it's not harmful, right? Don't do anything silly. Do what you need to do and look after yourself. And over time, it will get better. And yeah, that's how I feel now. And I'm absolutely fine now. Less than a year later, like, genuinely absolutely fine. And it will get better over time. So hopefully you get through it, Adnan. And yeah, if you ever want to chat, just drop me a DM and I'll try my best to help. What did you get in GCSEs? I didn't do that well in GCSEs. I got 4 A stars and 8 A's. And at A level, I got 2 A stars and 1 A. And then at bachelor's and masters, I got first class and distinction plus. I got humble brag. It's not even a humble brag. This is straight out brag. I got the best grade in my cohort for like my entire university for bachelor's and masters. So I think I was just above 90% for both, or along those lines. So yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm basically a massive nerd. I've never got a B. I've never got a B before. Bye, Raptor. Loved every minute of the stream. Have a lovely day and enjoy your Salah captain. Thank you. I will do. Fingers crossed. The camera will die in like 10 seconds. I just thought I'd show you a little bit more of my face, because that's why everyone's here, right? Obviously. Assistant to the regional manager. Yeah, what an office quote. Love an office quote. Yeah, I was assistant to the regional manager. No, I was assistant manager. It was quite a good salary, actually. I was tempted to not even do a PhD and to just carry on working for a couple of years, but I thought, I don't want to work in. I hated retail. I've worked in retail my whole life. Since the age of 16. When I turned 16, I got a job at Homebase. I worked there at 3 different stores across my university until the age of like 19, 20. I then worked at Matalan during my master's degree for like 26 hours a week. During my master's degree, I'd worked 26 hours a week. And then I worked at Under Armour. So I've been working in retail for far too long, part-time jobs and stuff. So, yeah. Do grades matter? Not particularly, no. Grades don't matter. That was something that I would probably tell my 18-year-old self, is to focus more so on life experiences, focus more so on developing skill sets. Like, I didn't get my PhD just because of my grades. I got my PhD because I interview fairly well and I have applied experience in the field that I wanted to apply for. So I think experience and confidence and life skills such as interviewing and stuff like that, that's probably more important than a grade. But that isn't to say that grades won't help. Grades definitely do help, obviously. Cool. I'm probably going to leave it there then, because my camera's going to die again soon. There it is. And I've been going for 3 hours and I need to go and eat. So thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe anyway. And thank you once again for 50,000 subscribers. I cannot cannot believe we hit 50,000. That is absolutely unbelievable. So I love you all very much. Stay safe, have a good weekend, and I will catch you next week for some more content. See you later, guys. Bye.